My involvement in politics was always motivated by a desire to see significant change. I am here to serve, and it does not matter in what capacity. And as I move through the constituency, I feel a sense of pride and satisfaction when people tell me, yes, I like what you're doing, I like the services you are providing for us, I like the fact that you are with us and you continue to support us. So therefore, being able to serve, being at the service of our people, I think is my greatest satisfaction. Because if I cannot serve the people, I have no place in politics. When I look at some of the conditions under which some people have to live, I feel a sense of compulsion to do more. That gives me the urge, hey, you have to do more.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Amani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competence. It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, $70 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Between 2014 and 2017, $185 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new national party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
And a good morning to Grenada, Carriacou, Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. 12 minutes after the hour of 10 o'clock, starting a bit late today. We were trying to see if there was any post-cabinet press briefing, but there is none this morning. So, yeah, we ready to roll?
Good morning, Grenada.
Yes, indeed. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And this is Hard Talk. We are live on 97.5 City Sound FM, broadcasting out of River Road in St. George. Yeah, also online, City Sound FM. Yeah, so you could look for them online as well, yeah? Yeah, we also on
89.5.
You see this man sleeping these days, man. Sleeping.
89.
Yeah, 89.5 CRFM Community Radio on your frequency modulated, broadcasting out of Monjaloo, and
94.9
right?
We Vibes Radio in New York.
Right, We Vibes Noise Radio, and also in Carriacou 92.9 FM. Yes, Sister Isle FM. Good morning to you, Lisa Marie. Good morning, DJ Jack. Good morning to all of you in the studio there this morning. Hope all is going all well and okay with all of you at all of the various radio stations. And remember, we are also online, www.hardtalkgrenada.com. You can also find us on Facebook on Hard Talk Grenada, right? On Facebook, Hard Talk Grenada. So you can find us there as well. All right? Nice. And we on YouTube today? Are we on YouTube? Yeah, we're on YouTube as well. You can check the New National Party YouTube account. Which one? Facebook. Hard Talk on YouTube. You see, I got anything twisted. Yeah, anyhow. Right.
So much to talk about this morning.
Yeah, you can check the Hard Talk YouTube account and then you'll get a thing there. And let's use on the live already this morning. The live seems to be, wow, the live is pumping this morning, man.
Kicking up.
Yeah, wow. Hey, Carol, good morning to you, Sheldon. Anishel, I know Anishel there's somewhere. I didn't see she name pop up, but I know she did. Anishel, yes, I know you're there. Yeah, nice. And I know you're there. Ibrahim, I know you're there as well. I ain't see the thing, but I know you're there somewhere. Nice. Right. Hey, Strix, good morning. Nice. Yeah.
Stedlin.
Yeah, Stedlin Day. Teresa Day.
Day.
Kendon Day. Kendon, I get your message. When they reach, we go talk.
Yeah, Debbie
right?
Day.
Debbie is there as well. Yeah. So everybody there this morning. Yeah. Yeah, man. But it look like thing.
Wilma just joined us. Nico.
What?
Wow.
Nikki, morning. Yeah. Randy, morning.
Wow.
All right, boy. The people them starting to say the
hey, you see,
like,
all the people started to get crazy.
All you had to comment and say all day because like I mean I didn't see in all day. Junior Day,
my God.
Errol Day. What you see the kind of thing?
What?
Wilma. Yeah, we did say Wilma already. I mean, what's going on? Nice. Good morning to each and Junior jumping. Good morning. Yeah. Nice. I find Junior looking for trouble already. Man, it's just 15 past 10 o'clock. You already looking for trouble this morning, man? Nah. Watch it. You know what we gonna do? We will give you a piece of our song and just see. You know, we will give you a piece of our song.
My brethren say there was no. I know who I voted for. NNP I voted for. Tell me who you voted for. NNP we voted for. So let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving. Debbie man is smiling. Let's keep moving. Salary receiving. Healthcare improving. Keep moving. Pension coming. Keep moving. Better condition. Keep moving. NNP the party for the land. Let's keep moving. Show me your colors. Let's keep moving. Your green colors. We came back in 2013. With a clean sweep, we win 15. And my country progressing.
Yeah, so we getting a piece there.
3,000 jobs for humanities. The way forward we please. Numbers of higher education. The pass for years for your billion. We create small business. We have the facts to prove this. Room in million a day. NNP only way. Let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving.
Are you ready? Move it. Yes, we move it. Move it. NNP, we move it. Move it. Yes, we move it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Old people, they say, back long time ago, if something can break, don't fix it, leave it so. And up to this day, this I still maintain. This is why I say, Nazim never again. Everybody know, about 6 years ago, where this country were, we can go back there no more. Not saying we reach, but we on that path. So let's keep moving with NNP. There is no turning back. Let the truth be told, one just can't ignore. Let's keep moving. Must admit we better off than before. Let's keep moving. We're on the right.
My good friend Ria, good morning to you. Linda Imelda Francois, good morning to you. It's a rainy day in Aruba this morning. Yeah, it's also a sort of rainy day in St. George. I don't know for the rest of the island, but I know it's sort of rainy in St. George. Genevieve, good morning, Chad. Hey, Anshel, I know you there long enough, girl. I know you're there. Louise, morning. Right. Shelly Ann, up there in St. Andrew, good morning to you. Renwick, and yeah, Teresa. And so, keep moving, eh?
Even when they do, it all
Rihanna, my love, good morning to you.
you admit, all you couldn't operate.
Ria, me and you going to fall out, and you know why, eh? All right.
That was on a low.
We will fall out bad.
You know head from toe.
Tell mommy I say we falling out bad.
Not one capital project. Construction was dead. Now you're talking about jobs like if you forget. Let the truth be told, one just can know. Let's keep moving. Must admit we bet.
Miss Bernice, good morning to you. Miss Clytie, good morning. Kiame, good morning.
Let's keep moving.
Well, if I just saying good morning to people and thing, I'm waiting. Devon had to step outside. I'm just waiting for him to come back inside. Nice.
Moving.
Rihanna, I call your name. We mean I call your name. Hannah, I know that you're listening. You probably haven't signed in yet, but I know that more than likely you're listening via 97.5. So good morning to you, Hannah.
Stop. Don't stop.
My friends in the fence up there in Happy Hill, good morning.
All over.
Umpa up there in Happy Hill as well, morning to you. Mrs. Muriel Mitchell and your loving daughter. I wish a happy good morning to both of you. I want both of you have a wonderful morning.
Oh, that's part-time.
I know you don't make the walk and thing and you don't take the swim and everything are ready for the morning. Nice. And you're relaxing day now. Nice.
Explain this to me. Why you send them home? All them in man needs and take away their salary. Let the truth be told, one just can know.
I'm going to say good morning to the detail. I ain't going to say which detail, but they know themselves. I'm saying good morning to the detail.
Keep moving. We run the right path, so no turning.
Ayadel, you've gotten in. Can't believe. I hear some things last night, people, Grenadians, I can't believe.
Keep moving. Moving.
My, oh my, oh my.
They lie.
They lie. They lie. Imagine watching them 2,000 young people sit on television and watch them 2,000 young people send home and tell them you didn't send them home.
Imagine that.
I mean, what type of gaslighting is that? As I said, you remember, I every now and again, we try to give a little information on different psychological terms and political terms that are used. There's a term called gaslighting. Gaslighting means to convince you that what you know as reality is not reality. Convince you that you're crazy. Yeah? So you, the people who were under the Imani program 2008 and prior, who were fired, yeah, sent home, dismissed by the NDC.
Run from the job.
In December of 2008.
Fact.
Are being told that didn't happen. So they're trying to convince you that you're crazy. I mean, something had to definitely be wrong with individuals. You have to be a special sort of psychologically unbalanced to speak to the Grenadian people and tell them something like that. You can't be normal. You can't be normal.
Imagine you on TV telling the Grenadian people that you move the public assistance from $100 to $200. Lie.
Well, I know it was moved. It was moved a bit. But as to how much it was moved by, I think it was moved from 150
to 200. Not from 100 to 200. Giving the impression that they add on $100 on it. And that is a lie.
No, but I think one of the biggest problems there is the impression that let's hear what the gentleman had to say. Let's hear what the man had to say. Let me hear what he had to say there first, right? Let me go there. Let me see. I will stop that there. And let's go and hear what let's hear what the LLL had to say here. Let's see.
Can you make a promise to help the vulnerable when the month up to give $400? Or you make a promise, go house to house, and that promise never succeed. So I would like to know if you in this election, what you will do for the old vulnerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Well, let me say that I cannot recall any statement made during the 2008 campaign that we were going to give the Imani workers an increase of $10,000 to $1,000. Yeah. So I cannot speak to the issue because I've never heard that allegation. Now, you speak of the $400. I think it's important to address that issue. I know that the comment was made by one of our persons at a rally. I cannot agree with you that this was said house to house going around. I really do not know that that was happening at all, going around house to house saying that we'll give $400. It did not happen. But we moved from 100 to 200. And perhaps if time and circumstances permitted, we would have done more.
You heard?
All you hear that, right?
You heard, right?
All I want to hear it again because before we say anything on it, it's important for us to note this is off of Beyond the Headlines on GBN television and radio last night, the 15th of January 2018. In other words, that was last night. That happened just yesterday. This is the political leader of the National Democratic Congress saying he don't know anything about promising $1,000 to Imani, nor going door to door promising $400 to the elderly. The political leader of the National Democratic Congress is the one saying that. At the point in time where he was at the party when going to 2008, the PRO?
Yes, you're the public relations.
You're the public relations.
Yes.
So if it's anything information-wise,
he would have
in the 2008 election campaign,
yes.
if it's one person in the party supposed to have known, supposed to understand what was taking place, it would be Victor Nazim Burke, yes. Nazim Victor Burke, Victor Burke, Nazim Burke,
however you want to
wherever you want to call him, Burkey, wherever you want to call him.
Naz, how you want to call him? Well, no, not Naz, not Naz.
All right, so wherever you want to call him, Suslov, wherever you want to call him, that is the man that's supposed to have known.
Exactly.
Right? He can't come and say, I don't know. So
full knowledge.
Let's play what he said when he was questioned last night. Let's just replay what he said again. Let's play it again for you. Play it again, Sam.
Can you make a promise to help the vulnerable when the month up to give $400? Or you make a promise, go house to house, and that promise never succeed. So I would like to know if you in this election, what you will do for the vulnerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Well, let me say that I cannot recall any statement made during the 2008 campaign that we were going to give the Imani workers an increase of $10,000 to $1,000. Yeah. So I don't want to. I cannot speak to the issue because I've never heard that allegation. Now you speak of the $400. I think it's important to address that issue. I know that the comment was made by one of our persons at a rally. I cannot agree with you that this was said house to house going around. I really do not know that that was happening at all, going around house to house saying that we'll give $400. It did not happen. But we moved from 100 to 200. And perhaps if time and circumstances permitted, we would have done more.
Well, yeah, it's very, very interesting. You know, good morning, Honorable Peter David. Yes. Good morning to you, Kathleen. Hey, Miss Mac, good morning to you. I see Mervyn, Gillian, Jagdish, Betty. All of you have joined us there. Paula, what Paula say? Nazim could lie. They had an ad on TV about the 400. Well, we go see about that.
Exactly. we go see what that.
Honorable Delma Thomas, a pleasant good morning to you, ma'am. We do hope from Hard Talk that you're having a fabulous morning this morning. Yes, you do know that we love you. Yes, and we wish to see you very soon again.
Very much so, my dear.
Errol. The thing was at 150, they moved it to 200. It wasn't at 100, and they moved it to 200.
Exactly.
It was at 150, and from 150, they moved it to 200.
See?
So I mean,
that was deliberate. That was deliberately done by him.
But before we go to that one, let's deal with the first one, the Imani thing.
The Imani thing.
Let's hear what then Prime Minister Tillman Thomas had to say when Beverly Sinclair on CC6 cornered him about the issue of the $1,000 increase for Imani.
The Youth Upliftment Program, which you mentioned, you have again, and I'm saying you using the collective word in the collective sense of the word here, your administration has been criticized for having abandoned the Imani program. Embarked on the Youth Upliftment Program, your administration promised that the stipend would have been increased from $700 to $1,000.
Again, lots of this could be speculation. If you go through our manifesto, you wouldn't see where we made any commitment, to increasing the stipend. There may be a statement made by individuals during the campaign, but we really want to see our young people train. Our focus must be to equip them with an education. We recognize that there ought to be a stipend, but there was not a promise given as such, as far as I know. An individual may have made that statement, but no one could say that the NDC came out and said that they're going to increase it from,
But, Mr. Prime Minister, any one member of the National Democratic Congress, their word should be as good as the collective National Democratic Congress, don't you think?
Well, it should be, yes. But
So, if somebody presents a tape to you tomorrow and says, this is the recording where X member of the National Democratic Congress made that commitment last year, don't you think, with the evidence presented, Exhibit A, that word should be honored?
It should be honored, yes, I agree, yes, it should be honored.
So you don't have a difficulty with the fact that maybe a member of the party did make the promise and that has not been fulfilled?
Well, yes, one must be loyal. When you make a commitment, you should honor your commitment, But in politics, there are lots of commitments have been given historically.
Yeah, lots of promises have been given historically. So excuses. So he's not denying that some members of the party didn't go out there and tell people they're giving them $1,000. I mean, it's what you call classic gaslighting. They do things to you, they say things to you, things have happened, and then they're trying to convince you that they are saying you are crazy, and what you know for a fact is not real. Classic gaslighting. Classic. That's what it's called, gaslighting. So, you reach home. You find your child doing something they're not supposed to do. They go in the cookie jar and they take a cookie. They go and they take sweetie. And you're watching the child and you're telling the child, why you go and take it? Me ain't take nothing. They have the cookie in their mouth and they're biting it. They have the hand in the cookie jar. And they're telling them, but why? And the child, me ain't do that. It's not me, it's he. It's he that do that. It's not me. Because the child is trying to gaslight you. They're trying to convince you that what you're seeing that is not true. It's not really me that day. And it's a form of desperation when you get caught with something. It's a form of desperation. It's actually the second time we're hearing people in the NDC camp denying that the young people were sent home. It's the second time we have that sort of thing taking place. In fact, recently we had Mr. Patrick Simmons. He was also denying that the Imani were sent home. Yeah? He was denying that all the Imani were sent home. In fact, let's hear what, I wonder if we have enough time to hear what Mr. Patrick Simmons had to say on that one. Let's go into that one. Yeah, let me hear.
Morning, you're live. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm directing a question to your honorable guest on the program. I want to ask him, right, if he's going to, while he was in power within the 2008 when he was in power, as the Minister for Youth then, he had made promises to the then Imani who was under the program before they came in office that they was not going to be fired and that they should trust him. 1 year after that promise was made, or maybe just a few months after, all Imanis was sent home, packing. I'm asking the honorable gentleman, are you willing to apologize to those Imanis that were sent home? And why should current Imanis trust him based on what happened prior to after 2008?
All right. Thanks, caller. Mr. Simmons.
Okay. To respond to that caller's question, and he's asking for apology. First of all, we must admit and we must know and appreciate that all the persons on the program were not sent home. That is not true.
All were not sent home. How many were sent?
I cannot recall exactly how many of them, because what we actually did is that we kind of reorganized the program, right? And some of the persons, well, in fact, the program in itself, how it was, is like there was just one area for training, but we had different components of our program. We had component for...
And you renamed it as well.
Yes, the Youth Upliftment Program.
It was GYUP.
Yes.
Right.
So there was areas for persons that were on the program before that were just doing training to get a stipend. They got involved in the education component of the program. So they were the ones that went on now to do the CXC, right? There were those again too that we put into the entrepreneurship program, that is those now that received training for specific areas, and they were given financial support to get into small businesses, right? So there are a number of things that happen, and then the bulk of them would have been involved in the regular training. Then we decided that, okay, we were going to enhance the training and at the same time give them an opportunity to get the national equivalent certification, that's the NVQ. The NVQ at the time,
right,
yes.
yeah.
And then later on the CVQ came on. So it is not correct to say that all the trainees were sent home. It's not correct to say. I must admit.
Let's focus on those who feel that they were sent packing. Were they sent in because that's the thing. The person who's going to be rejected needs to feel rejection is never good.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
The process by which rejection takes place makes a difference.
Of course.
So let's focus on those who did not make it into the categories you mentioned. How were they sent off?
All right. Well, actually, they were sent home, but at the same time, they were given an opportunity to reapply to the program. Okay. So some of them that went, there were persons that remain in the upliftment program during our period that were there before in the Imani program and are still there even up to today. Right. So those that were sent home or those that did not get the opportunity to be part of the program, it's okay to apologize to this set. It's not you won't take anything from me to do so.
Somebody in a ministry just tell them don't come back.
But at the same time, the young people has to be progressive and they have to find other ways and means. Even if the government can facilitate you, you have to find other ways and means to make sure that you keep yourself going and keep moving on.
Okay.
So
you say the same applies to today?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, keep moving. I agree with you, Simon.
I agree. That's one thing I agree with him.
Keep moving
on, yes.
Let me explain something here. Because, and I can talk from a position of having been directly involved. I am not a radio talk show host that somebody come and tell about this. I lived it. I was part of it. I was there. So nobody could come and tell me that what I am saying is not true. Yeah? And I can prove everything that I'm about to say. One, the Imani trainees were promised before the 2008 general election. The 2,000 or so Imani trainees were promised before the 2008 general election. Devon was a part of the campaign. He's sitting right here. He could confirm. The trainees were promised that they would not be sent home. There was also a promise to Imani trainees by activists of the National Democratic Congress that were going from door to door, village to village, house to house, that they would increase the stipend, that the $600, which is what they were receiving at that point in time, a flat $600, that would be increased. Was 6 or 7? I'm trying to remember the exact 7. That it would be increased to $1,000. Yeah? It would be increased. That was nothing. Note, the trainees as trainees at that point in time, they weren't paying things like NIS and so on that money. They just used to get the money straight. In comes the NDC and tells them, and we have the audio, we have the audio of what Mr. Patrick Simmons said. We have exactly what he said to those very same young people, those trainees at the Grenada Trade Center. So he can't deny that he did promise them that they would not be sent home, because we just played this for him.
Inclusive. I want to say to you how much I cherish this moment to be here with you this morning. For me, it is a wonderful opportunity and a pleasant occasion. I want to say to you that I admire all of you. To me, you are all my children. And as you all know, every parent wants good for his child. So to you, I want good for all of you. Please be assured. Please be assured. Please be assured. Please be assured that my government will not send anyone home despite rumors of potential. Let me just say this again. Please be assured that my government, the government of the National Democratic Congress, will not send anyone home, despite of rumors to the contrary.
Those, my friends, were the words of Mr. Patrick Simmons on the 22nd of July 2008. The interview you heard with him before with Brenda Batiste would have been when he received that call from the trainee or the person who was involved in the Imani or so, asking, will you apologize for lying to us back in July of 2008? And the man wouldn't apologize. He said, well, yeah, you could apologize, but he did not apologize. And up to now, they have never apologized to these trainees. And that interview with him was on the To The Point program of the 9th of May last year, when he said that they were not sent home. Now, at the end of 2008, the Imani program was wrapped up, closed down, shut down, cancelled, removed. Yeah, there was no Imani program as of December 31st, 2008. I am very sure. 2008. I'm very straight with what I'm saying. At the end of 31st of December 2008, the Imani program was closed down, wrapped up. Yeah? Now remember, elections were in July of 2008. They were promised in July of 2008. By the end of December, trainees were issued a letter stating that the program was being closed. There are many trainees who may still have their letter in relation to what took place with the Imani program. Whether you had a number of weeks remaining in the program, whether you had a year, whether you had 2 years because you had recently started the program, all of these people were told that they were no longer engaged by the government of Grenada under the Imani or any other youth program. They were not told that you're transitioning from the Imani to a new program. And the new program did not come into effect until February or March of 2009. I can say that because I was in the Ministry of Youth at that point in time when the GUP program was launched. Nobody ain't telling me that. I was there. The GUP logo that they use, I designed it in late January, early February of 2009. Because I went home in May of 2009. And I always say I was not fired. I was allowed to continue and finish my contract for various reasons. Kind of defrayed me too. So I complete my contract in 2009. But before I completed my contract, they brought up the GUP program. And it was not a situation that all those who were in the Imani were just sent into the GUP program. You had scores of young people that came in to sign up for the new program. So it was not a transition that instead of sending home 2,000 young people that were there under the Imani, that you just transitioned them into the new program. The new program took 2 to 3 months before it could be started. Meanwhile, those Imani trainees were sent home, and the vast majority of them were not re-engaged under any new program. So I'm trying to figure out now what they mean by the young people were not sent home. They were sent home. Some of them still have their letters to this day where they were dismissed. What happened is that when they were sent home in December of 2008, by January, things started to fall apart in 1 or 2 places because the Imani trainees had provided some valuable service in places like the General Hospital as food servers and assisting with some of the smaller tasks at the medical facilities. And they immediately, had to go and call back some of them. So by the end of January, they called back a small number, those who were involved in those areas, but the vast majority were still home. And then they transitioned those few that were called back in places like the General Hospital and so, they were transitioned into the GUP program. And even with that, the GUP program still never got to the amount of young people that were involved in the Imani over the entire period of time. So when you hear Nazim Burke last night talking about what he said that is not true, they didn't send them home, this kind of thing, trying to give the impression that they were not sent home. Mr. Burke, come better than that. In fact, somebody calling, Devon, we taking the call?
Yeah,
we
let's
taking the
take the
call.
call,
Somebody
man.
keep calling. So let's take the call. I keep seeing the light lighted.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
God, that sound like Cammy.
Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, you're live caller. Okay, maybe you call the wrong place. We know, right?
Yeah,
but I just see the light blinking, so I take the call. But in the entire period of time that the NDC were there, they did not at any point in time take the amount of people that were there under the Imani program. In total, 1,265 persons overall for the entire period of time that they were in office in 2009. After sending home 2,000 people, at the end, December 31st, 2008, that was the last day for everybody in the Imani program. And we're not just talking the trainees here. That included the staff, the supervisors, the administrative staff, everybody, tutmun bagay, everybody was sent home. In fact, the only man that remained from the old staff was me. That was the only man that was still in the Ministry of Youth, the Department of Youth. The only person that was still there after the 31st of December 2008 was Sheldon Scott, me. Yeah, let's try the phone line again. Somebody's calling.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello? Hello? Okay, caller, when you're calling, we're hearing ourselves in the background, so we know that you're listening.
Yeah, you're listening.
Pay attention to the phone line and not the radio in the background, please. Yeah, because I think you're listening to the radio to hear when we answer, but our system operates a bit differently. You have to listen on the phone for when we answer, and then you'll hear yourself afterwards on the radio. Yeah. But let me just make this point quickly, because you know it does get hot when it comes to this one. 2009, the NDC administration took in 655 trainees. Yeah, that was inclusive of those that talk about at the hospital that had been sent home. And at the hospital, you're not talking hundreds. You're talking under 100 or so. That would have been taken back. And that's after sending home 2,000. Yeah? So you're talking under 100. That would have been taken back there. And that was after a month home. And then they had to re-engage them under the new program. Yeah? When the new program was launched, they had to re-engage them. So these people ended up without a salary for a month or two. So you had, in 2009, 655, inclusive of those people. 2010, you had 119 people that were brought into that particular program. 2011, the first 655 would be out the program. They've spent their 2 years, they're gone. And they took in 2011, 1,411 young persons under the GUP program. 2012, the 119 that came in 2010, they would have been going out, and they took in a further 300 young people under the GUP program. So it is not to say that at any point in time they had the number of young people that are presently under the Imani or were under the Imani at that point in time. At no point in time did the GUP program have 2,000 more or 2,000 plus people under the program. At no point in time. So it's still trying to figure out here. And in some of these figures, you have to remember it's the same persons that recycle through the program again. So it would affect the total number of figures that you come up with. So they are trying to say that they've had more persons under the GUP program than they had under the Imani program. That, my friends, is a lie. And Senator Burke knows that. The payroll from GUP don't lie. I saw the payroll, I saw the figures, and I know who was there. The payroll does not lie. And if they challenge me and tell me I lie, I could make it public.
But you know, even after that, Sheldon, after they fired 2,000 Imani workers, when NNP returned to office, you know, under the difficult financial situation and so that the country found itself in, I mean, through their leadership and so, the NNP was still able, up to this point, over 3,000 Imani workers, Imani youths, right, get into the program, double that amount that they did in 2009 or 2011 to 2013. Double that amount. I mean, that speaks volume for itself.
I mean, right? I'm trying to figure out how somebody could actually face the Grenadian people and lie like that and make a statement like that. Imagine these people who were in that program 5 years, well, not even 5 years ago, that would be nearly 10 years ago. These people who were in that program 10 years ago and are hearing that and are remembering the hurt and pain that they went through because some of them voted for the NDC. Some of them voted for the NDC.
And you know how much of them, after that happened to them, they had to face the bank, they had to face courts.
That the people outside when they hear a van pass, they see no Wasa van coming, they shrimbling.
Cable got cut off. In all these sort of things happen to those young people when they destroy their lives at the end of 2008.
And it is totally unfair to those people who went through that to come and tell them that they didn't go through that. Mr. Simmons, Mr. Burke, to all you, check all yourself. Check all yourself. It is totally unfair to those young people to go and tell them that. But even worse, and hold on phone line, we coming to all you just now. We go come to all you just now. 11 o'clock soon come, we go come to all you again just now. Those elderly people, you have that beautiful bean footage right there, man? Roll that beautiful bean footage. Yeah, it is totally unfair to these elderly people. Oh, they wouldn't be able to hear the audio.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is 100?
For some people, because Mr. Burke say you don't remember about anybody going house to house about $400 for the elderly.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
That wasn't an NP ad, you know.
No, that was an NDC ad.
Let me play it again because like some people just forget.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer.
Roll that beautiful bean footage again.
Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make. I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
Presentation. He made the statement about moving it from 150 to 200 and being on the way.
He lied conveniently.
Robert, brother, is yours. Robert,
boss,
Robert,
if you
Robert.
do the same that, I know what you're going to do to me.
Robert is yours. We're just having some fun in the studio.
We're having some studio fun.
Yeah. But believe me, this elder gentleman knew that the pension was $150.
Yes.
And it was promised that it would be raised to $400. That was not a promotion, an ad by the new National Party or NNP. That was not a promotion. That was a promotion by the NDC of 2008.
Yes.
And who was the public relation officer at the point in time?
Victor Nazim Burke.
So who would have been in charge of producing these kind of things and making sure that all of these things was produced?
Nazim Victor Burke. I seen all others call him, I call him too.
Yeah, because you only become deputy political leader after the election victory
after
when
the
you
coup.
decide to go in and cut
Yes.
prime throat.
Yeah, after the convention coup in 2009 in GBSS, he became the deputy political leader.
But what did Tillman Thomas say in relation to the $400? Let me hear what Tillman had to say.
When will the senior citizens get their $400? That's the first question we've had via text.
This promise was made. There was no time, particular time frame set. They said it was said that it's going to be increased to $400. We increased it from $150 to $200. So with time, the increase. We can't give a specific time, as so but it is being felt that 400 is a suitable sum, for senior citizens. So we can't give a time. Again, it based on the economy and how things go in the country. I mean, it could be maybe a shorter period than we anticipate.
So Mr. Burke, who was the public relation officer, folks. The internet is there. The ad we just played is on YouTube, and I know pretty soon you're going to see it in the lineup there, in the conversation. Nice, you're going to see it there. Hey, Portia, morning. Matthew, hey, all of you in the chat room, remember,
morning.
like and share.
Yeah.
Like and share the video. Share the video.
Brenda,
share
good morning.
Share up the thing.
But you know,
Brenda.
But you know,
let me check the
Sheldon,
voters list when you say Brenda. I
had to check the voters list and make
check the
sure
voters list, right.
pull it up there and we're gonna make sure.
PEOgrenada.org.
Yes.
Check the voters list. Yes.
Right. But you know, what Mr. Buck did last night is no coincidence, you know. That was deliberately done to mislead the Ghanaian people.
But little does he know that this is 2018 and not 1918. So we have access to all that he has said. And believe me, before this week is done, we are going to play excerpts of the 2009 budget. So when Mr. Burke comes and he make a statement, let me hear him again on Beyond the Headlines last night.
Please,
you know, we're giving credit to GBN Beyond the Headlines. Uncle Lou, classic Lou and you.
Can you make a promise to help the vulnerable when the month up to give $400? Or you make a promise, go house to house, and that promise never succeed. So I would like to know if you in this election, what you will do for the vulnerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Well, let me say that I cannot recall any statement made during the 2008 campaign that we were going to give the Imani workers an increase of $10,000 to $1,000. Yeah. So I don't want to. I cannot speak to the issue because I've never heard that allegation. Now you speak of the $400. I think it's important to address that issue. I know that the comment was made by one of our persons at a rally. I cannot agree with you that this was said house to house going around. I really do not know that was happening at all, going around house to house saying that we'll give $400.
Yeah, he didn't know that was taken. The public relation officer at the NDC back in 2008, who was in charge of doing the advertising, the promotion of the political organization going into election and afterwards going into government, did not know. Let me hear what he say. What he say again? Wait, what he say?
That was happening at all, going around house to house saying that we'll give $400.
Yeah, he didn't know that. But this was on all Grenadians TV and radio.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
You know, you remind me about it at a calypso that used to go something like, it don't seem as he know at all.
I say to the PM, sir, I know you don't know, but some of the government laying real overall. They're killing democracy, they're sucking the country dry. Listen to the PM, this was his reply. Mr. PM, how the speaker so? Mr. PM, the house is a papi show.
You see, he didn't know everything. Nazim don't know. I can't recall. I am not aware. I can't recall. I am not aware. And one thing with him, anytime he's ready to lie, you know, some leaders say, he says a statement and then immediately after the statement, he say yes. So, I didn't know anything about that. Yes. So, you don't understand? Yes. Okay, trying to convince you. The man say he don't know nothing about that. He say he don't know anything about that. The ad is on YouTube. Yeah, that pension ad is on YouTube. We just showed you it on the live feed. We just showed you the ad on the live feed.
But you know what, Sheldon? The PR of the National Democratic Congress at that point in time, when all these ads and so were coming out, it was coordinated nationally from the public relations officer, right, to everybody else. So all the persons who were going around saying what they were saying, that was a directive from the top.
You could talk about that.
It was a directive from the top.
You could talk.
It was organized and planned and strategized by, the public relations arm of the National Democratic Congress. That is not thing. That is no lie. That is a fact. So when Nazim V. Burke go on air and talk about he didn't know nothing about that, and he's lying.
Well, you see, I know he's lying. You know he's lying. But we have to make sure that the Grenadian people also know that he is lying. Because it is a lie. The gentleman knows very well, because that was part of the campaign. You're telling me you were the public relation officer of a political organization and you did not know of an aspect of your campaign? Man. You were in charge. You think Simon Steele ain't gonna know what's going on with the campaign of the new National Party?
Exactly.
Simon? Hey, Simon must know what's going on.
Must.
Yeah, and you had to take responsibility for certain things.
Exactly.
Nothing in passing, Simon.
You see, but one of the things with Mr. Burke, he never likes to take responsibility for the things that he do. He always trying to snake his way out when he comes to problems.
Yeah, let me see. It's nearly 11. Let me take a call.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, really and truly, I think, when I listen and I hear that these people denying what actually occurred, I understand why they are saying that the Honorable Peter David did nothing for the town of St. George. They claim to visual impairment. They claim to auditory impairment.
All of a sudden, they can't hear, they can't remember. They can't hear and they can't remember. Doc, they need to check you out, man.
Yeah.
They need to check you out.
Appointments, Doc.
No. There is so much things that have been done in the town of St. George's, and even currently continued, done by the Honorable, over the last 5 years by the Honorable Nicholas Steele,
yes.
and continued by the Honorable Peter David, occurring now, even as he is a candidate for the town of St. George. The gentleman is busy at work. The gentleman is keeping the tongue moving. He's keeping the delivery flowing.
Doc, I want to ask you a question. There was a statement made by a particular lady who is attempting to get political glory or so. She said that on a particular program that Senator Peter David.
You're afraid to call name and says Claudette on to the point?
That she named yes, Claudette Joseph. That's her name. Right. She's saying that she has walked all over the town of St. George, right? And River Road, wherever. And she has not or never seen anything that Senator Peter David was responsible for while he was in office.
While he was in office?
Yes.
The lady is stating that she has not gone to the Roy St. John playing ground.
No, she has not gone there.
She's stating that she has not gone to the Angel Harps steel band house.
No, she has not gone there.
She is stating that she is not market friendly. She has not gone to the St. George's Market Square.
No, she has not.
Me only want to go and put it.
She has not.
Me turn my back on that. Me only want to go and put it.
Let's go to River just for. But you know what? It is there. It's there for the sea.
I'll deal with that lady just now. Let me deal with Mr. Burke from last night first. Come into her. She ain't going away.
You know what is more telling?
Or comical?
I heard the fair lady make reference to the the Prime Minister's journey to Switzerland when that was, what year it was.
I think it was in 19 something.
And she was asked whether that was not relitigating. And she was adamant, no, it is not. It is not. It is not. The fair lady went to New York in October, and she was embarrassingly rude to the people of this country who exercise the right, the franchise to vote for a political organization of the choice, and characterize them in very demeaning manner, And when asked about those pronouncements, she is claiming, well, that was said in October. Why are we going back there? October 2017. Are you hearing me?
Hearing you loud and clear, Doc. Loud and clear.
Are you hearing me? October 2017. Don't go back there.
Wow.
But Switzerland, you're going way back.
20 years.
No, how inconsistent and how foolish we can be. Am I being understood?
Yes, you are,
very
sir.
much loud and clear.
I have my opinion about the event, but I think the first time I'm hearing that it was a dark room.
Wow.
The first time I heard that, I think it was a dark room.
What I can say, what I can say to end the conversation on that particular one is that there's a document that anyone can go to the government printery and purchase on that event, and they can see what is the truth of what really took place.
And listen,
nothing is hidden.
After she said what she said about people who voted for NNP, listen what she says to the moderator pressed her on the issue. Well, how can you say that to the people? Imagine a person sitting in Lucas Street and hearing you say that. Oh, well, I said by and large. What do you understand by and large?
She's a lawyer.
The majority, most of. She even said it herself. A minority is not included in that statement. You understand me?
Here's
and
what,
she's insisting.
Here's what, Doc. I've got her audio. We'll deal with her.
She's insisting on that statement, without apologizing, recognizing her folly, her disrespect,
But boss, here's what, I understand. Let's deal with her tomorrow, all right?
Thank you,
You
sir.
enjoy the rest of the day.
Okay,
all right, Doc.
Yeah, I deal with something else today. Let me deal with what I'm dealing with today. I will deal with she. Don't worry. It come in. It is she and Gawi, right? But what I'm saying is that last night, I think that the Grenadian people ought to be severely embarrassed for Senator Burke for what he attempted to do on television last night. Because you even have him going out there and saying that he was unaware of the promise that was made in 2008 in relation to local government in Carriacou. Carriacou and Petit Martinique, are you listening? Because remember, the NDC campaigned to you. They didn't campaign to some people on Aileron, They came to Carriacou and Petit Martinique and campaigned in 2008. And my good friend, I think it's about time. Put up page 15 of the NDC Manifesto 2008 for us, man. Man, let people see exactly what was on page number 15 of the NDC Manifesto 2015. And let me play what Mr. Burke said.
One of the things that I've heard from the platform is that if you win the next general election, you bring local government to Carriacou and Petit Martinique within 180 days. Wasn't that also mentioned in the previous election campaign? and in the lesser time frame?
I cannot say with certainty. I really do not recall. I surely don't.
He doesn't recall once
what?
again.
Recall.
His recall seemed to has a problem. Something with his recall button ain't working.
And there was a movie called Recall?
Total Recall.
Total Recall.
Arnold
Okay.
Schwarzenegger when they went to Mars and
okay.
all kind of
Okay,
thing.
good,
Yeah.
good.
But his recall, something seems to be wrong with Senator Burke's recall. So let me hear what he's saying again. Now.
Wasn't that also mentioned in the previous election campaign and in the lesser time frame?
I cannot say with certainty. I really do not recall. I surely don't remember saying that myself. But I really cannot say with certainty if it did. But I've had the opportunity to reflect on this. Don't forget that work was done in the period between 2008 and 2013, laying the foundation for local government. Much work was done then. The government now in office said they were going to do it. They haven't done it. And we are saying that it is quite possible. The bills have been drafted in the past. We've seen the process. We've looked at other systems, other local government arrangements. In fact, some of the former members of Parliament on both sides of the House have traveled to the Bahamas, to Trinidad and other places, and have seen how this can work.
He recalled all that, but he couldn't recall that on page number 15 of the NDC manifesto. Remember, the person I was speaking to you last night as political leader of the NDC now was the public relation officer at that point in time.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, those of you that are viewing online right now, those of you on YouTube, and those of you that are on our Facebook link, remember we are on Facebook, Hard Talk Grenada. Remember to like and share the video. But see the hypocrisy of these individuals. And you see those come on and that's all kind of thing allowed. NNP and NDC bad. That is when there's a NDC, yeah? Those come on with them kind of thing.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
nice.
they know for
yeah,
sure.
that is when they get in the licks. They just take it like that and get
Wow.
But anyhow, yeah. So he couldn't recall, but we just show you. Because the part that you are seeing bold there, the bold part was the promise that was made. Mr. Man, pull it up there a minute again first. Yeah, let me just get the total again. He can't recall. So we're gonna recall for him. On page number 15 of the manifesto of the National Democratic Congress at the last general election, you see, the NDC will demonstrate its commitment to the social and economic development of Carriacou and Petit Martinique by enacting local government legislation and, in accordance with the Constitution, institute the Council for Carriacou and Petit Martinique within 100 days of entering office. Within 100 days of entering office. They spent 1,683 or so days in office. And in 1,683 days, they did not do what they had promised to do in 100 days. Yeah? But now they're coming to you because they feel me and you is dumb 1 and dumb 2. They're coming to me and you to tell us that how they're going to do it in 180 days. So they put 80 days on it.
80 days on it now.
They put 80 days, but you can't recall.
But not only that, he spent 1,000+ days in office, and you couldn't get that all along. Now you coming back.
1,683 days, if I remember and I'm calculating correctly, it's 1,683 days that the NDC was in office, and they could not enact. I mean, come on, man, come on. You couldn't enact it in that space of time, but you're going to enact it in 180 days. Where is the funding going to come from to fund a parallel governance system in Carriacou and Petit Martinique that's going to cost about $40 million? So you're going to increase your budgetary allocations to Carriacou and Petit Martinique, which I find is commendable. That is something I would like to see. Where would the funding come from, especially when you're going to be reducing on taxes and you have not put forward a plan of exactly where you're going to immediately be able to access other monies for the running of the country? But remember, Senator Burke just can't recall Siwang thing. What's Siwang thing? Let me play Siwang. He just can't recall.
Just some clarity on the visit of the two government officials to Taiwan or Korea. You said last week that the team left Grenada. The intention, the first information is that they were going to Korea. And then you got information.
No. That's not what I said last week. I said last week, and I repeat today.
We thought that meeting was going to take place in Korea.
I said last week, and I repeat today.
We thought that meeting was going to take place in Korea.
I said before they left, we requested that the meeting take place in South Korea. They said no. So when the guys left here, they knew they were going to Taiwan. When the offer to travel was first made, we were asked to come to Taiwan. We responded by saying, why are we not going to meet in Korea?
Just some clarity on the visit of the two government officials to Taiwan or Korea. You said last week that the team left Grenada. The intention, the first information is that they were going to Korea. And then you got information.
No. That's not what I said last week. I said last week, and I repeat today.
We thought that meeting was going to take place in Korea.
I said last week, and I repeat today.
We thought that meeting was going to take place in Korea.
I said, before they left, we requested that the meeting take place in South Korea. They said no. So when the guys left here, they knew they were going to Taiwan. When the offer to travel was first made, we were asked to come to Taiwan. We responded by saying, why are we not going to meet in Korea?
Yes, Senator Burke has a problem with remembering things, it seems.
Alzheimer's.
I'm wishing nothing on nobody. All I'm saying is that sometimes it's psychological, sometimes it's physical, and sometimes it's just the person just likes to lie.
Lie. Lie. That's a hallmark of the gentleman. And we're not making up anything, you know.
Is this thing, imagine the man go on TV last night and trying to give the impression that the NDC in 2008 did not promise Imani trainees, one, they're not going to send them home, and two, that they're going to give them $1,000. And outside of that he's trying to deny that they did send them home on December 31st, 2008. He's trying to deny that.
But you know, Doc made a statement a couple of years ago, right? Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell called the gentleman bong to lie. I mean, but he proved it for himself that he just continuously lying. I mean, look, we played for you to hear the conflicting statements that this gentleman make.
But let me see what some of them
what
people
is wrong
saying.
with him?
Let me see what some of them people saying on the inbox there. Let me see. Oh gosh, they call NDC no damn control. Anyway, over the lies. Hey, Kendra Matthew and Stuart, good morning. Cindy, morning, and Tati, good morning to you all. Let me see. This one say vote and NP election day. Yeah, I agree with that. Shame on her for the same place, and she knows what Peter did and still doing for our community.
She lied too.
Don't worry, we go deal with she just. In fact, we go deal with her before the program.
Yeah, she can't come in.
Yeah, don't worry, you ain't got away, girl.
And she's a lawyer. We buy a lot of his.
Yeah, you see. Yes. Cathy, I did play that. Right. Okay. Right. Somebody coming to construction boots. Lying. This one say Burke lying again. Beyond. Oh, they said the program is not beyond the headlines. It's beyond the lies. Okay.
Beyond the lies. Because he went beyond the lies. I mean, this guy is amazing.
Oh man. Hey, no, I really trying to figure out folks, yeah, you can put your statements and we'll read it. Believe me, we'll read it. Yeah, just like I shared a video. Remember to like and share the video. This is totally amazing because he can't recall.
Yeah.
He's not sure.
He's not sure.
He's not clear.
I'm not in a position.
You read a budget in the year 2009. In the budget that you read in 2009, and we're talking about Senator Burke here, he said that the national debt was $1.7 billion. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to convince you, and he's trying to convince me, that he left office in 2013 without a cent being added to the budget, to the national debt. So he's trying to say that come 2013, he left office with the national debt still at $1.7 billion. That's what he's trying to say.
He lie.
The debt to GDP ratio, right? The debt to GDP ratio was 107 under him. It's dropped dramatically. I can't remember the exact figure right now. I have it on a document somewhere here.
It's down,
but it's way down right now. Now, let's understand something. They don't want you to listen to the debt to GDP ratio. They don't want you to listen to that. And there's a reason they don't want you to listen to the debt to GDP ratio. The debt to GDP ratio gives a strong indication of your country's ability to service its debt. If the debt to GDP ratio is high, it means that your country is having difficulty servicing the debt that's there. It also means that economic activity within your country is at a low. That's what the debt to GDP ratio means. A lot of people don't understand this debt to GDP ratio thing. If your debt to GDP ratio is high, if it's 100 and something, in fact, most of the Caribbean countries it's 100 and something. Wait, it is with us now, 60 something or 80 something, or somewhere down there.
81 was the last thing I heard.
It's heading down. And it's still heading down.
With speed.
The way that it gets down, because your debt to GDP ratio means that your GDP ratio, how much money on average do people in the country make, and your debt ratio, how much debt. So in other words, it's measuring the amount of debt per person and your ability as a country to repay that debt. And it has been very low for Grenada since coming into office in 2013 to now. It has been reduced by the new National Party administration till it is now the lowest in the Caribbean. While other countries wondering how we did it, because their own is still 117, 120 and going throughout the Caribbean region. It's high. You may not have 120, but it's 117 and a couple at a high in the hundreds, that are up there, while Grenada is servicing. So they keep speaking about what's the national debt. Let's just look at one thing with the national debt and understand this. Let's say George F. Huggins, I'll use that example. It's an example I remember. Let's say George F. Huggins wants to go into debt and you, Devon, want to go into debt. It's two different things. Devon might go into debt and he might take, let's say he take $10,000 from a lending institution. George F. Huggins might go and take 10 million. So George F. Huggins owes more because they've taken 10 million, but they have the ability to repay it. Their debt to GDP ratio will be lower because yes, they owe more, but they also have enough economic activity going on to repay it. While Devon might be struggling to pay back that 10,000. Might have to go and take up about 5 or 6 different jobs, still mine about 2 cows, 6 pigs, 8 sheep, and plant land to try and pay back that $10,000. Where the bigger company that has more resources and so is able to pay it back. It's the same situation. The United States, their national debt is into the trillions of dollars. The trillions of dollars, that's what their national debt is. So the issue isn't as much what the national debt is as your country's ability to repay it. And then Senator Burke was very, very, very intellectually dishonest last night. Yes, you, Victor Nazim Burke, Nazim Victor Burke, Victor Burke, Nazim Burke, whichever way you want to call you, was very intellectually dishonest last night when he dealt with the issue of the payments of the, what do you call it again? The bill that was passed after the public loan authorization bill.
Right.
Let's hear what he had to say last night. Let's hear a bit of what he had to say last night in relation to that.
So the two questions of the authorization bill. Isn't that something that happened each year when the budget is presented, that some money is, there's a loan and it is set aside for use if in case it is at all necessary?
Well, yes. Now let's look at the situation this way. You borrow money if you need to borrow money. Yeah. If you say that you have a surplus, you don't just go and borrow money in the bank in case you need it. You borrow money when you need money. Now, the Prime Minister has been saying that they are enjoying a surplus, that they are collecting more money now than ever in the history of the country. So we have to assume that they're doing okay. That's what they're boasting all over the place. That the economy is growing and that they're making surpluses and they, that under the NDC they were having all these deficits and so on. Yeah. So, when we see that the government goes and takes a decision to borrow $100 million to finance the budget.
let's say that's the first intellectual dishonesty by Senator Burke. Well, not the first, but one of a few in those statements. One, the bill authorizes government to be able to borrow, not to borrow. It gives you the ability to borrow. Yeah? Your ability to go outside is not the same as going outside. You're in your vehicle right now, you're in your house right now, you're in the market right now. You have the ability to go outside. It doesn't mean that you're going outside.
You could want to.
You could want to, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you will. Sometimes there's something that's keeping you from going outside. And no loan can be taken without passing through Parliament. And the weird thing there is the same Senator Burke was in Parliament when that was passed. You didn't hear him talking about all that at that point in time?
That is why the man's lying so much, eh?
The loan authorization bill authorizes government, according to the public, there's this bill that's in place now that deals with fiscal responsibility, which means that government cannot go taking money, spending willy-nilly. Also, part of that says that government has to limit its spending on a yearly basis. So you can't just go crazy and say, well, it's election time. Let's just go and double the amount of money we put in the budget for housing, or double the amount of money we put for this, or double the amount of money you put for that. But that you stay within your limits. That is what the bill says. And this particular bill has to be attached to every budget. So in case you have to borrow, it's not that you have borrowed 100 million. It is not that you have gone already and you take 100 million and you have indebted the country to 100 million. In case of emergency.
And you need it.
And you need it. Then you have the authorization to go to different organizations, different banks and lending institutions and negotiate the best deal, because part of the Fiscal Responsibility Act says that it has to be the best deal. You can't go and negotiate things for high interest rates. It has to be at very low interest rates, or the best interest rates as a country that you can get from these organizations if you need to borrow. It is not that the money has already been borrowed and NNP government go and they take 100 million US somewhere, and they take 100 million US and everybody had to repay the 100 US. That is untrue. That is intellectual dishonesty from a person who markets themselves as an economic person.
You say intellectual dishonesty, I say a lie.
Okay, right.
Lying.
You could say it.
Yeah, I mean, that's a term that we Grenadians understand. When you lie, you lie. Not because you are a politician or white collar, whatever, or they will say embezzled. No. And steal and like you lie. You're not in this one, you lie. You tell a serious lie.
I'm trying to be nice.
No, you can't be nice with politicians who continue to mislead the people down the road.
It's intellectual dishonesty, because he knows for a fact that government, he's trying to give people the impression, because what he's trying to do now is that if the average Grenadian believes that the new National Party has borrowed $100 million, they're going to start to approach different ministers and say, well, I'll get $100 million there. I want this. I want that. Or I ain't voting. That is what Victor Nazim Burke and the NDC are trying to do, but the government hasn't taken $100 million. They have not done it. They have the authority through Parliament. In other words, Parliament has given them the authority to borrow it if it is needed, not because they want it, but if it's, suppose you have, for instance, a storm surge and it damages roads in a particular area, that is not budgeted into the full thing. According to the amount of damage, they would always have a bit of money there for that. But according to the amount of damage, then government has to go and source money now to repair that road. Or you have a landslide in a particular area, or you have a weather event in a particular area, man-made or natural. Then you have to find the money to be able to finance that. And this gives the government the ability to source that money at the best interest rates possible. Hello? And to do what has to be done. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Devon.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
Oh my God. Sheldon and Devon. Oh, Nazmakulai so. I see that on the platform. I heard these statements are making advertisement with $1,000 for the Imani, the $400 for the senior citizen. I said he had no knowledge of that. Oh my God. Sheldon, no. Every day, no man lying there. Why? Why you can't speak the truth? You see, you try to convince people with lie. Yeah. We always say, you lie today, the lie will get caught up with you. Right? You know, you was the PRO of the party. You know exactly what information and what will be going out to the public to convince people. And how come you say you don't know? And everything is allegation here. His prime minister said $150. Right? And they're going to raise it to $50 to bring it up to $200. Now he's saying from $100 to 200. So why he's saying that he put up $100 more.
He can't recall.
He can't recall nothing.
He can't recall.
Right? And is this not the same man that say he chooses work carefully?
Yes.
No one has to speak for
carefully.
You know what he's saying?
Mm-hmm.
No. And every one of them is a pattern of the leader. Every one of them in the NDC is a pattern of the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader blindly.
The thing is, my friend, I'm sure you know of young people who were in the Imani program and were sent home as of December 31st, 2008. Yeah. There were letters that were issued to these trainees. I'm hoping that one of them still have their letter, so we could have the letter and post it. Yeah, they were sent home.
They sent home.
The new program didn't take effect for close to 2 months. It did not take effect. I was in the ministry. I designed the GUP logo. I know.
So you have full knowledge of what to say. You don't say something from a turn hand. You say live and direct. And I said, they make it very difficult because for the Imani. Because many of the Imani, when they get this opportunity, they went in for institution, they went in like postal course and take items. Right? And some of them, there was owing forms and they have to go home. They have to go home now. Because when you owe form and then immediately you lose your job, that means either the firm can take back your thing, which will be very embarrassing for you. Right? When they can't come and take back your thing because you're unable to pay for it. Right? And who was the Minister of Finance? Nazimbo. He was the Minister of Finance. He make no allocation for money for the Imani. So that's why he had to go home. So he and Patricia, they lie and they continue to lie, come back with the same old thing. So thinking of that, the Ghanaian people will forget what they did, right, and fall for the same old trick. Well, I want our witness for them. We forgive, but we don't forget. We know exactly what they did, and we remember what they did. When we go to the poll, we will vote 100% for the party that really cares for the young people, the senior citizens, and all Ghanaians. Well, Sheldon Devon, you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you. We didn't even say the number, 4407377, and the overseas number
347-329-3101.
Yeah, call.
Give us a call. You know, Sheldon, one of the things that Venus Mbok is trying to do. Yeah, you talk about the surplus. Oh, they say they have a surplus, so why they going and borrow money? So dishonest. You understand? He is so dishonest. But you know what? They hear about surplus. So when they hear surplus now, all they're thinking about is to get back inside it, to run it down again.
Man, listen, the majority of them that you hear talking, just realize it's a job they're looking for.
It's a job they're looking for. Who want Governor General? Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
To you, sir.
Okay. Mr. Buck is not lying. You don't say lie. He's telling a logical inexactitude. This is another liar's language to the public. Okay? So you can see, that he lie. Okay? Good.
Okay, his inactitudes are very inact.
Words in context.
Let's go to the phone lines again.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, how you doing?
Quite good.
Sheldon, I hear you very fast.
We're right here, man. Go right ahead.
Natum said something last night, and I just want to, about the people have the right to choose the choice, what they want to do, and what they don't want us to do, and whatsoever it is. But Natum forget the referendum was the same thing that the people had the right to tell them what to do and what not to do, and they asked them not to tell them not to vote. You understand? So the same thing you're going to tell the people now, we're going to give you the right to do this and do that, when the same thing they had to do. Vote for Kerry, what is CCJ? Vote for the Prime Minister if you want 2 term, 1 term. You tell them don't vote, and then you tell them now they will have the right to come and say what they want and what they don't want. Nazim is a stinking liar, and he lied too much.
Oh gosh. Careful, caller. Careful. Oh gosh. We know you, Mike.
Better words, Mike.
Better language. Inactitudes. Yes. Inexactitudes. Yes. How is it? Inexactitudes?
Or if it's too difficult for you to say, just say lie.
We have a caller online. Good morning.
Good
Hi, good morning, Sheldon and Devon. How are you all doing today?
Good morning, my dear.
Yes, I'm just calling for the first time. And I just want to say, when you're green, you have to stay green. You're truly green. Green all the way.
So
They cannot stop us.
I can't go nowhere again.
Aye?
I can't go nowhere again. I have to stay where I
No,
did.
we don't have to go anywhere
Right.
else. We have
Good.
to stay right there.
Let's keep moving.
Yes, we are moving.
All right, my dear.
Okay, I'm ready for election day.
Okay, my dear. Have a wonderful day.
And folks, let me warn all you now. Before we go any further, get registered. Those of you that are not registered, brothers and sisters all, get registered.
Get registered.
Get registered.
Important.
All right, and remember we're going to St. Mark tomorrow. We're heading up on
tomorrow,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah, on Thursday we're heading to St. Mark.
We moving.
Tomorrow evening we have a special program by the youth arm of the New National Party from 8 p.m. It will be broadcast on 89.5 on the Hard Talk Network and so on. So you'll be hearing that from 8 p.m. tomorrow, a special program by the youth arm of the New National Party and Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. So there's going to be that social media interaction and so you'll get to follow that. You will get more information on it tomorrow. I'm hoping somebody from the youth arm would give me a call tomorrow just to give me a little buzz on what's going on. Depot Reach. Depot say accent would never triumph over action. The PR workshop that enabled NDC victory in 2008 became the first target. Because they saw it as Peter David loyalist.
First target.
Yeah.
That's how these guys are.
Yeah. Hey, Flavor tell him to speak about the unclaimed debts in the treasury. Because the NDC keep trying to give you the impression that because the figures change, you come in, you meet one set of bills, you get a next set, so it will change. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I realize that Mr. Burke is suffering from Alzheimer's disease. So we can't afford to have someone to rule the country that's suffering with Alzheimer's disease.
Yes.
My goodness. All right, my dear. We hope it's not that. We just hope he does lie.
Yeah,
I ain't saying it's that he does lie.
We just hope it's a habit he have and we could get rid of it.
What you wanna know?
As a fellow Grenadian, but
the man lying about everything. Imagine, okay, here another
thing.
statement that he made last night. Here another statement, a misleading and dishonest statement that he made last night.
Truth is, somebody who made that claim before, I sued them and I won the case for reckless statements, you see, because those who were peddling it knew it was a lie, but the surrogates that they used, the people who didn't know better, that started repeating it.
Now, you're speaking about Ian Edwards and his case with Ian Edwards. I could talk about the case.
Yes.
Ian can't talk, but I could talk about the case because I can say clearly, I can say clearly here that the case was never vented in court.
Never.
Victor Nazim Burke won on a technicality. That technicality being that defense by Ian Edwards was not filed in time for the statements that he had made. And the reason the defense was not filed in time was because the documents were presented and then Mr. Edwards was in China. And during the time in China, the time elapsed. So he did not. And in fact, Ian Edwards went to court to have the case about how many houses Mr. Burke have and so ventilated in court. Nazim Burke and his lawyers did everything in their power to make sure that that did not happen. Sue me now and say I say that. I dare you. Sue me and say I say it. Yeah? You didn't win the case as in you stand up on one end of the court and you say that is not true and Ian Edwards stand up on the next end and say, well, I said that and I believe it to be true. That never happened, Mr. Burke. Be honest to the Grenadian people. It never happened.
Yes, we can say there was a judgment because
a default judgment.
Exactly, because of circumstances. Tell the people the truth. Stop.
He wants to do like
lying.
He's trying to give the impression somebody lie on him. He take them to court and they went in the court and the judge stand up there and say, oh, you're lying on the man because what you say is not true. And he was there and he say, oh, yes, this guy said this thing about me and it's not true and I need to deal with it. It is not true, Mr. Burke. And the documents that were put out by the NDC themselves, which I will post later today, prove it as well. That you received a default judgment. Not that the substance of the matter was ever discussed in a court of law.
Exactly. Never.
Yeah, the substance of it was never discussed in a court of law.
I wonder why.
Victor Nazim Burke of Tempe, know that for a fact.
No, not of Tempe.
Wherever he from?
He living in the hills of Ice, not from Tempe.
All right, wherever.
Right.
But anyhow you take it, he knows that it is not true that it was discussed in a court of law and that Ian was found to be lying. The only issue there was that Ian was out of the country and his lawyers did not file the defense in time because he was on business at the Grenada Cocoa Association at the point in time on one of the agricultural courses out in China. And that is why his defense was not filed in time. And even on getting back to the country, realizing a default judgment had been entered against him, he tried to have that default judgment overturned. In other words, he was willing to go and stand up in court and present his evidence and say his part in relation to the issue. But Senator Burke didn't want that. If he wanted to clear his name and say, well, me and do this and me and do that and all lie on me, he'd have go and stand up in court as a man and face Ian.
Balance the facts.
But he did not go and stand up in court and face Ian as a man.
We can't.
So don't try and peddle it off to the Grenadian people and say a lie because it's your party that published the documents that prove what I'm saying is true. So try and say what I say is a lie.
You know, another worthless thing that was done, right, and coming out from the Ministry of Finance, which Vina Zimbok was a part of.
I know, I can't recall.
Yeah, no, I can recall. You remember that whole Sewang World business, right?
Yeah.
No. From the Ministry of Finance, that was negotiated with this group, these guys up there. And once it's from the Ministry of Finance, you know definitely that Vina Zimbok was involved as this finance minister, right? They made Prime Minister Tillman Saul Thomas signed a memorandum of understanding with Sewang World, the Prime Minister, you know, without due diligence, without evidence, without nothing. And come to know 1 or 2 weeks later, these guys were arrested in China and charged or whatever for fraud. You know what Vina Zimbok had to say? After you get the Prime Minister to sign that document, you would turn around and say in a press conference, the Prime Minister, words to that effect, the Prime Minister should have not done that. Who had advised him?
You know which Prime Minister you're talking
Exactly. Good morning and welcome.
Under the nutmeg tree.
Under the nutmeg tree.
Right now, I see I'm putting 2 buckets of nutmeg.
Oh, wonderful.
That's good, man. You're contributing.
I listened to this girl this morning, this liar girl running against Peter David, and saying that Peter David never do nothing for the town of St. George.
She lied.
So that means the NDC didn't do nothing.
Nope.
Because Peter was an NDC.
But who was the Minister of Finance? Who was holding the purses at the point in time when Peter was the MP for town?
Yeah, and you know, I want to play the ad again. I want to play the ad again where Vic could talk about the house. He had met last night and the program, he had 2 houses, right? So play that clip people hear it. Thank you, sir.
All right, brother. Yeah.
That is, I mean, they are so confused.
People have a right to ask if you have 6 houses, if you have 4 houses, if you built 12 during the time that you was in government.
Know, yes, I want to know how much you have.
People want to know if it is true that you lowered the price of building material at the point in time that you was building a house and that it benefited you as an individual.
We want to know that.
People want to know.
We want to know. We want to know. And everybody wanted to know how much Prime Minister Mitchell has, how much money. He told you. But how come we can't know the assets of Vina Zimbok?
Yeah, we could tell you that Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has $19 million.
Yes, $19 million.
Because he had a lie about it.
No.
He come out and he say what he have, and he have the documentation there. So if somebody challenge it, the documentation is there.
But how come?
How much book have?
I don't know. I heard they say you have a house in the Hills of Eyes. I heard they say you build one down in the south. I hear all kind of thing. I want to know.
We don't know.
We want to know from you, sir.
Yeah, we have a call online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, my dear.
Just listening.
That's good.
Welcome, Mr. Devon back.
Thank you.
All the best for 2018.
Oh, yes.
Tell me now, could you explain for me what Mr. Buck had said about the $200? I didn't get it clearly.
He was basically saying that how what he would have done was move the pension from not the pension or the public assistance from $100 to $200. And that is not true. Even the ad that was done in the 2008 campaign says it's at $150 and the intention was to move it to $400. But it was $50 was added to it and it was moved to $200.
Exactly.
Yeah?
I know because my mom used to get the $100. So I don't understand where the $200 comes in.
He lie.
That's the best mathematician we have,
Yes, he lying.
Yeah.
You see,
But that's what I was thinking, eh?
rather than increase that thing by a third, he trying to say that he double it, eh?
Yes,
He
that's
did.
and
He did.
that was
He did.
deliberate.
I remember they were saying last night on the for the change of the how do you call that now, the 7th, the independence. What we was thinking that you have times that you may get 1 or 2 buses running, and it's a public day. I mean a day that nobody not working. So if it's possible that we're not able to get those buses running, if we could get some bus from SU.
I think you won't get buses.
All you got to think about it. Because a lot of people will want to come out, but sometimes it's the walk home because, we're not young like before. And, sometimes we used to have to walk. Sometimes, again, we'll get a bus. So maybe something could be arranged for us.
Okay, my dear.
Okay.
I'll speak to them.
And the part with Ian, I can understand that one. I just cannot understand.
If he knows that he is innocent, if he knows that what
know.
Ian says is untrue, why did he not just don't take? Why he didn't have to go and take what do you call it again? A default judgment. He should have gone in the court and argued the case, argued the merits of the case.
Yes.
That was never done.
No.
It was never done.
So
it's a default judgment.
So he shouldn't even come and say that on. You see, this man just embarrassing himself and making people feel that what he's saying is truth. Because my daughter was in the Imani. She said that they did not give her a letter, but they made it publicly that they need to go home. And she was there because I make sure I call her first to find out, and that's what she told me. And I don't think she will just lie for me and tell me they gave her a letter. They said it, and they send them home. Okay?
All right, my dear.
Yes. So
Thank you.
all take care. Have a nice one. All the best in 2018.
Take care, my dear. Same to you.
And I hope you all register. You're telling us to register. I hope you all register.
We are. Let me make sure.
You have everything.
Hey,
I am
ready.
registered.
I am registered.
So you have your ID in your hand.
You want me to show it? If you're watching it, it's all right.
Boss, look who you're telling.
It's all right.
Later,
I like the juke thing. I like the juke thing. I know juke. I like the juke thing.
Later, Miss Noriega. I want to know what you're trying to do.
I don't know.
Have a wonderful day, Miss Noriega.
It's all right. I will let my daughter, my granddaughter, Malika, watch it for me, so she will tell me.
All right, my dear.
Have a wonderful day.
And I think we have another caller on line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good
morning.
Yeah. I want to, the thing with Joan Porcel in Karakou. She may forget that she said to tell Karakou people they're depending on barrel to live and they're greedy. I want you to replay that if you have it, the page that she made in Karakou to the people. And them kind of things, because she forgetting.
That's some old statement you're talking about here.
Very old statement.
That's old statement you're talking about here.
Very old statement.
Yeah, but she said in Karakou, she went on the platform and talking to the Karakou people and telling them what she would do and what they would do. So I wonder if Karakou people forgetting what they say. She like Braffit. Braffit don't know. Bob can remember, and like she can remember too.
I don't know.
So it's a whole team of them.
I don't know.
You understand?
All right, my brother.
And who don't know, them kind of thing. All of them from Kayako. All right.
All are we. Careful.
It's amazing. It's amazing how an educated person like Venus Mbok could try to twist and fool the Ghanaian people with lies.
Unless he actually believes it, in which case I have to doubt his educational
You understand? In that case, we would have to doubt. You'd have to doubt that. But as I said before, these things are being deliberately done.
Yep.
To people. It's a deliberate thing he's doing.
Dwighty. All right, Dwighty. Dwight say he cannot recall, but he surely does not remember saying it himself.
Exactly.
Yes, Dwight.
Lord help us.
No, seriously, man.
For grown people, to be pushing lines like that. You were there. You were the minister responsible for government business in Parliament. You are the finance minister.
And still making them kind of errors. We
And
have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Morning,
to you, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Scott, and good morning, Mr. Romain,
Good
and
morning,
good
my friend.
to your listening audience, both yard and abroad. Well, Mr. Scott, there are certain names we associate with Brother Nas. And last night, I am surprised that he lived up to them. But let me first say that, do you know that I find that the majority of NDC supporters that I have come in contact with today, they are not happy with Nas' performance at all.
No, they're
They're of
disappointed.
the opinion that he speaks in such a way that he gives the impression that some of the difficulties that the government face today, it is real, and as a result of that, there is no magic wand to if the miracle happened and NDC was to win, he was indirectly telling them there is no magic wand to the problems that we face. Now, let me say my rationale for saying that he lives up to the names we give him in the past, like the LLL, the lazy lion leader. No, there are certain things, I mean, you just have to be straight. If you come clean, we will understand that.
Of course.
Then NDC, Nazim don't care. He gives us the impression that based on how he is talking and how he is trying to spin the dice, Nazim really don't care. Now, listen to one of the big issue I have is this. When it comes to NDC supporters and the leadership of the NDC, they keep on telling us how corrupt the present leader is. They keep on telling us how we don't care, how he's a con man, how he's this, he's that. But listen, I declare all my assets. I said, this is what I have. You may believe it or you may not believe it because you may find it so much. My issue is this. Why Nas has failed to declare his assets publicly? We come out in Mount Hope. I have a big bag. You have a big bag. You calling me a thief. I reach in Mountain. I open my bag. Everybody could see what I have in my bag. You refuse to open your bag, but you're calling me a thief. I do not understand the logics in this.
Lack of.
No, gentlemen, my issue with the national debt sometimes is not what, the argument I hear people putting across. My issue with the national debt is that whether it is more manageable now than before. Of course, it is more manageable now than before. And it is as a result of the actions that has been taken by this government to bring it like that. Before, we pay 70 cents on every dollar towards our national debt. Now we are paying 48 cents. It is more manageable. Now, when we talk about now we have a surplus in contrast to where the NDC had a deficit. Now, the surplus, St. Mary's Irish is my alma mater. You all have to blame Mr. Patrick Patterson and Mr. Rennie, we call him General, former teacher. These are my former teachers and custom officer, which also includes Miss Felix that was recently working in the Ministry of Education, and Miss Brenda Bola Sitahal. Blame them. Now, yes, we're not borrowing. You was running the country with an $18 million a month deficit. Now, we have a surplus. So, yes, we're collecting $18 million more on a monthly basis to take care of running the country. But that does not necessarily mean we have that amount of extra money to do other things. This is my understanding, Mr. Scott. So, the bottom line is this, as I wrap up here. The bottom line is this. Based on all the reports that we have received from the local, regional, and international financial and economic institution, what they have said is this: Grenada is doing much better now under the new National Party in contrast to the former administration that was led by Mr. Tillman Thomas and former Finance Minister Nazim Bok. This is what they cannot deny. Yes, we have watched Mr. Scott. Yes, Grenada, we do have a lot of problems still. There is a lot of issues that have to be dealt with. But the bottom line is that the NDC, as the alternative political organization in this country, is not providing us with any meaningful solution that will cause us to say, look, we're going to give you a chance, because what you are suggesting to us to be done is better than what the NNP is doing. They are not doing that. Give me 1 second. I cannot believe that in 2018, with so much intelligent people in the NDC, they cannot come up with a rational formula for our economic and financial situation going forward if they say that what we have presently is not working for us. Gentlemen, have a pleasant morning.
Have a good day, my
Good
brother.
day to you. And hey, let me just say something here aside from all that we've been speaking about, because I just got a message in relation to it again. There is no United Nations grant being given out by any government of Grenada or any other government, yeah? There are quite a few people who have some fake profiles going around and conning people out of money. I know of a gentleman just a couple months ago, he spent $600 US. He went to one of the institutions and he sent that money to a person that he did not know. Nobody will come on Instagram or Facebook and contact you in relation to any government program. And I know it sounds nice because they come to you and they tell you it's a grant program to help you like pay your bills and start a small business. And I get my 10,000 already. You ain't get yours yet. That sort of nonsense. Please learn one thing in life. Sometimes when things sound too good to be true, they usually are. And that has been happening again and again on Facebook. They've been creating fake Facebook pages in the name of Prime Minister Mitchell for that and other reasons. Fake Facebook profiles in the name of various other people, and been conning people out of money. And they've been making, if they catch 10 people, 600 US 1 month, you could understand how much money they're making, which is why they continue to do it.
Lucrative. Good morning and welcome.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Okay. Caller, remember, pay attention to the phone line. Let's try again.
How you doing?
Hey,
Good
quite
morning.
fine.
Yeah, what you talking about? Somebody sent me that too, you know.
Yeah, it's fake. Just
yeah,
ignore
what
it.
you tell him? What you talking about? They're telling me he's a thief and he cost me out. What you talking about now is real. He once sent me that too. They call him some boys.
Okay. Just block the persons.
Yeah.
Block the persons, please, because it is fake. They've done one in the name of Delma Thomas. They've done several in the name of Prime Minister. They've done in the name of Gregory Bowen. Now they're doing others and saying they're acting on behalf of these people because we've gotten rid of most of the accounts. They've been sending out now and saying, I'm acting on behalf of the Prime Minister, acting on behalf of Gregory Bowen. And we have this program where you can receive 600 US. Now you go, you send that money to an account using Western Union or MoneyGram, and you send that money. That person collects the money on the other end with fake identification. They collect that money, and that's the last you hear from them. Yeah?
Yeah, they tell me send it to Walmart.
Well, the thing is that I must say MoneyGram here in Grenada and Western Union have been very proactive. When people come to send money, they've been questioning you, and they have up signs and so on. They've been asking some people, because they believe somebody in Western Union trying to stop them from getting what they're supposed to get, just ignore them and go and send the money. Others have been stopped. So I need to continue to commend the staff at MoneyGram and at Western Union for the wonderful job they've been doing. All right? Okay, caller. Okay. So I see you soon.
Keep on calling you.
I know who it is calling me. They will ask you if I see you soon.
Yeah, I put on my jersey. I was in the meeting. You didn't see me out. I was in the branch.
I see you too
yeah,
much.
A massive branch up here.
Yes. All right. So you enjoy the rest of your day today. All right. Beautiful.
Okay, then. Have a nice one.
All right. Yes, man. Yeah, we ain't gonna tease people like Zingo today. We go leave Zingo and them alone today. But Senator Burke, you gotta stop that lying thing, Dread. No, seriously. The man know he ain't win a case against Ian Edwards by any going in the court and discuss. He win by default. And it's not that Ian didn't try to go to court to discuss the case, but he didn't want it.
Why the gentleman is so adamant in putting up lies to make people feel that, you know, what
but
he is not.
I mean, he lying on something where he say somebody lie on him.
I mean, come on.
That's how bad it is, you know. You come in and lie on what you say is a lie.
But the man lying on his own self. Well, I mean, if somebody lying on themselves, oh God.
You come and lie on what you say is a lie, you know.
Yeah, you understand? From the time the gentleman opens his mouth, the first 5 or 10 words, expect a lie. Expect a lie. Either you can't recall, you don't remember. I've not said that. I craft my words carefully.
Well,
all
remember,
these sorts of things.
Let's remember what you said last night.
Vulnerable when the month up to give $400, or you make a promise, go house to house, and that promise never succeed. So I would like to know if you in this election, what you will do for the old vulnerable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, caller. Well, let me say that I cannot recall any statement made during the 2008 campaign that we were going to give the Imani workers an increase of $10,000 to $1,000. Yeah. So I don't want to. I cannot speak to the issue because I've never heard that allegation. Now you speak of the $400. I think it's important to address that issue. I know that the comment was made by one of our persons at a rally. I cannot agree with you that this was said house to house going around.
He can't agree it was said house to house going around. Okay, let me play the ad that he as public relation officer would have overseen was put out by the NDC. So it wasn't played house to house. Okay, they didn't say it house to house.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
Yeah, he didn't know that.
I work in the prison. I was a prison officer. Brother Tom Tillman and them say, what is $150? And when they get in power, they will make it $400. And when they get in power, they will make it $400.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Quite fine.
Mr. Noel here.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Noel, Mr. Scott, I said Mr. Dunan, I go in the house on Sunday, and I see Dunan there. I feel if they put him out, he go do better than Nazimbok. Yeah, I feel he go do better than Nazimbok. Dunan and Awega, I feel he go do better than Nazimbok. I find Nazimbok lying too much for us.
I'm going for Awega.
Time for you to stop that.
All right, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
But you know, it's very important that we underline this. The gentleman, in my view, has a problem in speaking the truth. He has continuously tried to deceive and the Grenadian people in lots of statements that he made.
He's a stranger to the truth.
He's a stranger, and he's a lawyer at that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Somebody say he has political amnesia.
I cannot understand.
You can understand, but he can't recall.
I mean, how you would be part of an organization who said during the campaign that we will take the public assistance, right, from 150 to 200. And now, last night, you on television facing the Green and people telling them that, oh, you know, we took it from 100 and brought it to 200. Deliberate.
Yeah, even worse, huh? After they go and you take the, you go and you add the $50 to the 150, the same vulnerable people who are the people that you're going to be giving that to, you pass and you cut off the water.
Cut off the water.
You pass and you cut off the water. And those who were still getting the 150 were lucky because it had quite a few that name came off the list that needed it. Yes. That needed it. That up to this day needed it. And you take them off the list. It wasn't just a situation where you add $50 on. Let's give the whole story when we're giving the story, Senator.
Let's give it.
Of all those elderly people who needed the 150 as it was at the time, that their name was taken off the list. All of those other people, yeah, who needed the water, and their name was taken off the list. Their pipe was locked down. Some of them were presented with bills for $1,000 and something.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah?
I remember a lot of these
That
things.
was done
came to the light.
by you as Minister of Finance. Yeah,
Oh,
because it was a totally economic decision.
How
Yeah?
shameful.
If it was a social decision, then people don't understand people's social situation and so on.
Good morning, Brittany, and how are you doing?
Yeah, we have a call online.
Good morning.
Hello. Good day. Okay, that person isn't paying attention to the phone line. We quickly come to the end of the program.
Yes, but I just had to make a comment there as Chris made. He said, Devon, those PRA want their money. Ask Nas for it for them. Well, I made that call because, you see, Honorable Nazim Burke was the finance minister in October of 1983. And he would have knowledge, right, as to, soldiers' finances and everything like that around that period. So they have asked me on a number of occasions, Badfall, good morning, on a number of occasions to ask Senator Nazim Burke if he can share some information as to where we can look, me included.
Suppose the man say he wasn't the Minister of Finance now and tried to sue us.
Well, he will be telling a lie.
You've made a statement that has made the rounds, and I did not hear it myself, but persons spoke of it.
I'm sorry?
I did not hear the statement myself, but I was in the company of persons who spoke of it. What statement did you make as it relates to where you worked within the reign of the Revolutionary Military Council? What statement did you make?
Well, I made the point in my conversations that a number of persons, in fact, there have been people who have been trying to say that I responded really to, it was not, the issue was not raised on the air, but it was raised off air in a conversation I had with someone who was telling me of persons, a person in particular, who has been playing a game for the last few years, but saying that I was a member of the Revolutionary Council and I had this plot with Bernard Cord and so on and so on and so on to get a big job and all of that kind of garbage, really, you know. And I was making the point to the person that the truth of the matter is I was never a member of the Revolutionary Military Council. And anyone who looks at the history of the country will know that. There's no magic to that, yes? I was never a member of the Revolutionary Military Council. Now, in 1983, you perhaps know that I think it was October 12th or 13th, Bernard Cord resigned. The Central Committee of the party nominated me to replace him as the Minister for Finance in the People's Revolutionary Government. That government was disbanded on the 19th of October. And, after that, a military council was put in place. So I don't think that there's anything untoward or historically false about what I'm saying. That is the fact, you know.
But you were a finance minister under their short stay, whatever it was.
Yes,
but not a member of the council per se.
Well, I'm saying more than that. I'm saying that the period that we're talking about when I was minister was between the 13th or so and the 19th.
So after the
council was established on the 19th or sometime after.
So after the 19th, the council did not contact you to remain as
and the council did not appoint a government. The council was running the country.
Okay.
So factually, I mean, the guy who is saying that he knows better. In fact, I heard that he apologized on the radio for this before. So to be repeating that stuff is ugly and unnecessary, you know.
So Maurice Bishop lock up, Bernard Cord resign, and you take up as Minister of Finance. You understand where you're like it? Money.
Proudly took up that responsibility as Finance Minister from the 13th
Maurice
to
lock
the
up.
19th.
Maurice lock up the road, down the road day.
Yeah,
lock up.
right down there. And we
Bernard
still,
resign, and you decide, yes, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll be Minister of Finance.
Something he said.
I'll deal with the money.
Yeah. Something he said, though, that after they didn't contact him after the 19th, but we're not sure if he was still doing the finances for them.
Bottom line, the PRA want to know where the money is.
Yeah, anyway, I was a soldier too. I need to know where my money is, all my credit union money and everything.
Precious has sent a message to us. She says, Sheldon, as a youth, been listening to the two parties. I remembered when the NDC was in power, they had said they were paying out debts. So my question is, why were we still on the blacklist? Precious, I'll try to answer that one for you, but we're running out of time today. That one is a long one, sweetheart. Yes. Okay. Hey, just to let persons know, I said I did have the information. The jet to GDP ratio at its highest under the NDC was at 108%.
Yep.
Right now, it is at 69%.
69%. Wow.
Yeah, the lowest in the Caribbean right now, 69%.
And as we end, I would just like to...
For today?
Yes, for today.
Remember to like and share the video tomorrow, and we will have something coming up after Mr. Technical Man. We have the national report. It's going to be coming up as soon as me and Devon are done on the live. We're going to have that running there. And then tomorrow will be... Yeah, don't worry, Claudette, what Monsieur do pass you? It come in.
At all.
Media and greedy, we'll find out.
I can't quote, but what I will say, in some of the words of Mr. Richard Duncan, who is the one that is in charge of the committee that it was put in place for the fiscal management, and so appointed by the Governor General. And so he said, in words to that effect, that Grenada is not just only doing good, but very good when it comes to the fiscal management, you know? And persons, please pay attention to some of the comments that was made by that gentleman who is in charge, right, of that organization to oversee the whole fiscal management of Grenada's economy. He has given Grenada very good rating. We have a long way to go still, but we are moving. We are moving, and we will keep moving on.
Yeah. That's why we have zeroed all claims over 60 days in the Treasury right now.
Oh, yes.
Which
zero.
means that government of Grenada owe you. They're paying you within 60 days.
Within 60 days.
Yeah, they're paying you within... Before that was $110 million. All kind of man inside it. A year and something pass, and you have 6,000, 7,000 for them.
Fall up, they couldn't do nothing. Yeah. Small businessmen who needed their cash, but when providing service for government, couldn't get it. No, that's no more. That's history. We move in.
This guy does remind me of Parang in Trinidad. They does lie, 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 lie. They does lie, they does lie. They does lie, 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 lie. Yeah.
Eli.
That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today, folks. Remember, get registered. We have to keep saying it to you. Get registered, get registered, get registered. Also, remember, tomorrow night, it's going to be on at 8 p.m. It's going to be available via the Hard Talk Network. Also, the National Youth Arm Facebook page. The NNP National Youth Arm Facebook page. It'll be on 89.5. Usually we have the rebroadcast of Hard Talk at that time, but we'll be giving way to the Youth Arm at that point in time. I believe you'll also be getting it on 91.9. I'm not too sure which other stations. I'm hoping Karaku, while you're hearing me, this is the way I'm asking. I'm hoping Karaku will join us as well for that one. So it'll be a live online interaction with Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell with the youth. And he'll be taking their questions and suggestions and so on. All right, so that's from 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Also, on Thursday, we are heading up to Heroes Square.
Heroes Square, St. Mark's.
Yes,
here we come.
We're heading up. Auntie Ruth, we didn't forget you.
Auntie Ruth, we forget you.
We're heading up to St. Mark on Thursday. And indeed, we're going to be doing the endorsement of a lovely lady.
Oh, wonderful lady.
Yeah, the unbeatable.
Oh, unbeatable.
Let's call her the lioness. Yeah, because everything comes she devour.
Yeah.
Every one of them they send so far is licks.
The short knee lady.
Licks and more licks. So right now she preparing to share next lick. Share the belt soaking.
Yeah, and but you know what? She's also a doctor. So in case they faint while getting their licks, she will attend to them.
If they faint off, she will help them.
Yeah, she will attend to them. Yeah? That's how loving she is.
So the doc herself, she will be endorsed on Thursday, God's willing.
Heroes Square.
So Heroes Square, that's going to be from 5 p.m. So those of you who can make it, we're heading up there. Nice. We're going and show the doc we support. Nice. So we're heading up there. All right. And also on Sunday, we're heading over to Bellevue Playing Field in St. David. It's going to be the endorsement of the Honorable Oliver Joseph. So we're looking forward to that one as well. So this Sunday, we're heading over to the Honorable Oliver Joseph, and then on the 28th, everybody know where we're heading. Boucheju. That's when we go get the doc dance. That's when we go get the Greg dance.
Yeah,
and that's when we go get the Peter
Skank.
Yeah, we go get the Peter Skank.
Yeah.
Peter, I hope you're practicing.
Peter Skank. I see him yesterday. He practicing that skank. You understand?
Why some people have a problem with when New National Party people dance and are happy and that kind of thing? They have a problem with us and that.
But you see, they don't have love. They don't have love, Sheldon. You see, NMP share love. One of the ways we do that is by dancing with each other. You understand? Come on. Just a lighter moments of the party.
Just vex.
But
anyway, that's all the time we have for our talk today. It's been wonderful being here. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
And in anything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you
and not about you.
All right, folks.
Peace out.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Amani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competence. It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, $70 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Between 2014 and 2017, $185 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
My involvement in politics was always motivated by a desire to see significant change. I am here to serve, and it does not matter in what capacity. And as I move through the constituency, I feel a sense of pride and satisfaction when people tell me, yes, I like what you are doing, I like the services you are providing for us, I like the fact that you are with us and you continue to support us. So therefore, being able to serve, being at the service of our people, I think is my greatest satisfaction. Because if I cannot serve the people, I have no place in politics. When I look at some of the conditions under which some people have to live, I feel a sense of compulsion to do more. That gives me the urge, hey, you have to do more.
I remember those days, not so long ago, that all I wanted was an opportunity. My family was poor, and there were times I didn't even have a pencil to go to school. The people of Paraclete, Moncton, and surrounding areas gave me that opportunity. These ordinary people raised me. It is this history that inspires my politics. Now, it's my turn to give the next generation even greater opportunities than I had. If I can make just one weak person strong, I will be doing God's will. What we did in the 5 years is just a little bit of what we can do in the future. My duty is to steer the course and to keep moving.
Finance Minister says settlement to industrial matters could be around the corner. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Rakisha St. Louis. A solution to the industrial issues that has plagued Grenada in the last few weeks could be just around the corner. That assurance from Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, Dr. the Right Honourable Keith Mitchell. He was addressing the endorsement rally of the Honourable Nicholas Steele at the Montrouge playing field on Sunday.
Not long from now, hopefully before the end of this week coming, that we'll see a settlement of all those issues based on information that I have available. We want stability, peace, and order in this country.
Government has earmarked $12 million to address water and sewage development in the south of the island. Works Minister Honorable Gregory Bowen says this is an urgent necessity given the rapid expansion in that area. Minister Bowen, who was addressing the endorsement rally of the Honorable Nicholas Steele on Sunday, said work will be done to address the flooding and drainage problem in the area.
With part of the $29 million of the UK CIF fund, and this is grant, we have earmarked $12 million for our water and sewage development. Brothers and sisters, it is imperative that we ensure that our environment is clean.
Minister Bowen also spoke of plans for implementation and rehabilitation of the South St. George Main Road.
From Tantine way down to the roundabout. Brothers and sisters, nearly 20 years ago, the new National Party embarked on the rehabilitation of this major road artery. And it is proven that every 10 years that our roads should be rehabilitated. Now we're hitting 20. You will understand, because whenever we have a serious downpour, you see the holes coming up, whether you put cold mix or whether you put hot mix. This means, brothers and sisters, that we must rehabilitate the Southern Main Road. This is on our plans. We have written the project, and we know that we will get the financing for this, brothers and sisters.
Meanwhile, major improvements, which include the construction of a jetty, are in store for the South, that promised by Honorable Nicholas Steele during his endorsement rally at the Montrouge playing field on Sunday.
To the vendors in the market, to the vendors in the Grand Dance market, I acknowledge that you are trying to make a dollar and legitimately paying rent to the government. So I will take the chance on you, as I have done already, and to make sure that any significant development going on Grand Anse Beach, permanent improvements on Grand Anse Beach, like a jetty, is going to be built as close as possible to the vendors' market so that it can serve those who pay the government rent, those who are trying to make an honest living.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Are you ready? Grenada, the countdown has begun for the staging of Grenada's most talked about sporting event in 2018. The Junior Murray 50 All-Star Cricket Match, featuring some of the world's greatest ever cricketers. The Prince of Cricket, Sir Brian Charles Lara.
The world record has fallen once again to Brian Charles Lara.
Thomas Kentish, Darren Sammy.
Sammy goes big, he goes very big out of the ground.
Sir Cutley Ambrose, the Universe Boss, Chris Gale.
Chris Gale goes into the second deck.
And our first international cricket legend, Junior Murray.
He's gone, far behind.
Junior Murray in full action at the Grenada National Cricket Stadium, Saturday, January 20, 2018. Gates open at 9 a.m. First match features our upcoming cricket stars at 10 a.m. Then at 2 p.m. we get ready for the main event, Junior Murray All-Stars versus the Prime Minister 11. Added attractions include live entertainment from 4-time Soca Monarch Boise, 2-time Groovy Monarch Dash, the veteran himself, Inspector, 7 times Calypso Monarch, King Scholar, Ledneck Day, and more. Admission $20 adults, children between 6 and 16 years old. You pay $10, under 5, absolutely free. Tickets available at all digital outlets, Grenadian Optical, St. George and Grandad, Mitchell's Health and Wellness, Excel Plaza, Kitten's Pharmacy, St. George and Grenville, Heather at the Boutique, York Sneakerwear, Shice Bar Victoria, Calico Supermarket and Big Land Bar, Satan, Golden Auto, Grenville, Toyers Bar, and Guelph Gas Station in St. George, plus Rena Mills in Carriacou. Lock the date, Saturday, January 20, the Junior Murray 50 All-Star Match. This one is gonna be epic. Grenada National Stadium, the legends are coming.
Renovation work on the third floor of the ministerial complex is 85% complete. That's according to the Chief Technical Officer, John St. Louis. The rehabilitation work consists of transitioning from carpet to tiles, repainting of vertical walls and cubicles, cleaning and replacing air conditioning units and vents. 3 ministries were occupying the third floor: the Ministries of Youth, Sports, Labor and Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Fisheries.
The Ministry of Sports, Labor, the tiling work is totally completed, as well as the vertical walls, which is, we have a total of 44,640 square feet of vertical panel walls, as well as cubicles, for painting. This section is almost completed. The area to be completed now will be agriculture, which we hope in another week the vertical painting of the walls will be completed, and then to address the air condition. So in a nutshell, we can say the overall project is about 85% completed.
It is the government's intention to do similar work on all 7 floors of the ministerial complex.
We are presently looking at doing the attic section, that's the 7th floor. We're going to change the carpet, tile the surface, paint the vertical walls, and from then we're looking at even the 2nd floor as well. And also we take it in stages, time as things roll on.
Work commenced late 2017 and is expected to be completed by the end of January. An Independence motorcade, sporting activities and the Calypso competition are some of the major activities that will be staged in observance of Grenada's 44th anniversary of independence this year. During the launch of the celebrations on Monday, Chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee, Anne-Marie Marichaux, said they are excited about this year's celebrations. The theme is One People, One Country, Our Responsibility. Ms. Marichaux is encouraging everyone to showcase their patriotism by beautifying their villages with the national colors.
There is an activity that for everyone in our country. You can join any of the activities. And so, as you have seen, we have started our decorations. Throughout the country, we have blazed the streets with red, green, and gold. And we are not blazing only the main streets this year, but we are coming into the nooks and crannies of our villages. Look out, villages. We are going to make you beautiful this year. So, we have started. It is continuing, and we ask you to help the decorators to decorate your villages and communities.
Producer of the 44th Independence celebrations, Royden Bihari, spoke about some of the changes made to this year's event.
On the day of independence, February 7, 2018, we have a new venue that we're going to be using this year. So we no longer will be going to the cricket stadium. For 2018, we'll be going to the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Just to remind you, we are going to the Kirani James Athletics Stadium, same location, but a bigger and a better ambience, just for your pleasure. We are also going to be moving our Independence celebration, or the Independence Day celebration, from 9 a.m. In the morning, as previously held, and we're now going to move it to 4 p.m. in the evening. That will start off the parade. However, from 2 p.m. in the evening, we actually going to be starting the Made in Grenada Expo. And I'm telling you, thus far, from all indications, loads of vendors will be there promoting their products. We have a number of manufacturers and agro-processors that are on board. We are also encouraging persons who have not yet registered to be part of the expo. Feel free to contact the Division of Trade within the Ministry of Finance to be part of that grand expo that we will be having. It will be taking place in front of the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. So it no longer will be held downstairs the cricket stadium. this year for 2018, the expo will take place in front of the Kirani James Athletic Stadium from 2 p.m. in the evening.
Minister for Tourism, Civil Aviation and Culture, Honorable Clarice Modest Kerwin, says one of the highlights remain the Made in Grenada Expo, which showcases local products.
I believe that independence should be one of the things that unite us, the common point where we can meet, because we do have diversity in philosophy, in affiliations, in, beliefs and so on. And if that diverse committee that we have in the celebrations committee could work together in spite of the differences, I believe that it behooves us as Grenadians to unite for that activity and recognition of that time. And I want to send an appeal to everyone. I think it's a great time that we can look to have a ceasefire. Because, let's face it, the fire is always there, but the fire might be burning a little bit brighter. And so I think it's a time that we can call a ceasefire and come together. This is our country. It is our responsibility. And the more we do, the more we showcase, the more we encourage our people to recognize our responsibility as a people and as a country to each other, to our country, and to the world. The global village, we have responsibilities at all levels, and we need to do that.
And now for a recap of the headline. Finance Minister says settlement to industrial matters could be around the corner. And that's the National Report. I am Rakisha St. Louis.
Do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
You know what you want, and our team of the new National Party has what it takes to make your dreams into reality. And so, for 2018 and beyond, we are moving together. One of the most satisfying accomplishments of the last 5 years is how we in St. Patrick West have been able to bring people from different political parties in the interest of national development. This new National Party government has delivered and is continuing to deliver to our community. There's evidence of this everywhere, from the Breakwater project right here in Sates to the new technical wing at MacDonald College and the soon-to-be established Skills Training Center at Montreach. But most importantly, many people, especially our young people, have benefited from increased scholarships and training opportunities to improve on the human resource potential. This does not mean that we have achieved all that we have set out to achieve. Far from it. There is much more to be done. What our successes have done is whet our appetite to dream bigger and to aspire to achieve even more. You know what you want, and our team of the new National Party has what it takes to make your dreams into reality. And so, for 2018 and beyond, we are moving together.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Amani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
These past 5 years, ordinary people with extraordinary dreams for themselves and their families have continued to inspire me. In these close-knit communities along the shores of St. Andrews Southeast, people with their faith in their unshakable God have given me renewed hope that this partnership we have forged is worth building on. We have had successes together, but we are far from finished. A whole new generation is coming up, hoping for even more opportunities. We can't let them down. With God by our side, together we will achieve even more. So let's keep moving.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, $70 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Between 2014 and 2017, $185 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
I am Yolande Bain Horsford, and right behind me here is my alma mater, St. Joseph Convent, the institution that I've attended for 5 years. Further back behind me is the Roman Catholic Church that I also attend. And on my left is the convent court that I played all the netball and the tennis throughout my 5 years at this institution. I am very proud of the partnerships I have formed with the people of St. Andrews Southwest these past 5 years. But I'm even more excited about the things we can still do together. We have begun solving the housing challenges and tackling youth unemployment. We have not only been building roads and houses, but more importantly, building communities and building lives. Many people have been given fresh opportunities, and even more shall be lifted up in the coming period. I am ready to take a fresh start and to continue battling for ordinary people who deserve another chance. So let's keep moving.
Building a stronger economy means all Grenadian workers benefit, those who work in the public service and those who work elsewhere. Now that the period of shared sacrifices is over, the benefits must be shared among every Grenadian. More money for house repair, more money to improve healthcare, more money for training, more money for education, and yes, more money for public servants. $55 million in various payments. We are the Grenadian family looking out for each other. And even as we fight for ourselves and our families, we always remember our neighbors. We forge ahead together.
Learned quite a lot of lessons. I've learned the importance of being humbled. Yeah, that is critical. It has also been reinforced the importance of listening, because in order to serve people, you have to know what it is that they want. You have to understand their needs. You have to listen to their needs. You have to question, and you have to care. Fundamentally, you have to care about each and every person that you come into daily contact with.
The best part of the program has been learning songs.
So St. Patrick's East, all of Grenada, support the new National Party. Let the progress continue. Let's keep moving.
Keep moving!
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
I believe that my life's journey as a sister and daughter, a community activist and educator has prepared me for the next chapter. As a young woman, I have always firmly believed that our generation can continue to build on the solid foundation already laid. My long association with the girls in the Junior Achievement Program has taught me a lot about national potential. This is not about where we have started. It's about how far we can go together. I am running so that I can stand up for you.
I know who God says I am, what He says I am, where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power, I work in miracles, I live a life of favor.
I come from a very humble beginning. I know the importance of hard work and dedication and service to people. And so it is that characteristics that I believe that would be able to propel me in serving the people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique. I am from a single parent family. My mother has been my #1 supporter, and she has always been there with me, for me, by my side. My desire to serve the people, of course, of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique, I believe is the ultimate sacrifice, and the opportunity has presented itself, of course, to assist my people, because I believe that the youth do have a place in politics, in nation building, and in governance. And so it is my youth that I will use to ensure that the youth of this nation are well represented.
Five years ago, we started an incredible journey together. We dreamed and we strove to achieve. We are happy with the success we have had, but not content. The arch of progress is bending in the right direction in St. George Northeast, and many people have benefited. But there are still others that are yet to be lifted by the rising tide. We cannot leave those people behind, and so we continue to fight, and we continue to push on. I am Tobias Clement, and I'm running again to continue what we have started. Our dreams are too big, our ambitions too large for us to stop here. So let's keep moving.
Stewart, and I am honored to have answered the call for service. The people of Carriacou and Petit-Martinique are dear to my heart. I have grown up in a time of expanded opportunities, showcased by the fact that I have had the fortune to study and become a professional. There are many young people who seek the opportunity that I have had. And I want to be a part of that movement that helped open up new doors. It is the aspiration of ordinary people that inspire this new journey of mine. As my generation rises up to service, you can surely count me in. I am Kendra Matthew Stewart, and I am running for you, the people of Carriacou and
Keep moving!
Let us have a real talk, St. John's. Let us understand the choice that faces us in this coming election. You can vote for me again, a proud member of a team that has consciously started rebuilding Grenada. Together, we have done the hard work and the opportunities have begun to come. So, you can go for the other guy who threatens to rip it all up and start a new experiment that none of us is sure about. The choices we face are not even close. We have made our sacrifice, And now we must continue to build on our success. I'm proud to be on your team, and so St. John's, we are moving together.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Amani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
South St. George is fast becoming the economic heartbeat of this nation. It is at the center of the housing and construction boom and unprecedented growth in education and tourism sectors. As our area rises, so does the nation. In the coming period, our challenge is to give character to this growth and to bring along the surrounding areas. So we shall improve the skill sets of people to take advantage of the coming jobs with my plan to cut unemployment in the South by 2/3. And we will extend housing assistance and give the many people who need it land tenure. More money will be made available for small business loans for people in such areas as Montouth, Grand Anse Valley, Woodlands, Woburn, Calais and Belmont. The people who are yet to be touched will get their chance. We are excited about tomorrow, and so today we shall keep moving.
Putting the lens on Grenada, its people, and its possibilities. This is State of Affairs. Putting the lens on Grenada, its people, and its possibilities. This is State of Affairs. Reporting this week, I am Abigail McIntyre. Ministry of Youth Fly program continues to be a success. Here are the stories of those who are benefiting. Imani Hope trainees are excelling in their fields of training. Find out how opportunities have transformed their lives. And State of Affairs continue to highlight the pronouncements from the platform. See what is being said in this week's episode. Rakisha St. Louis, June Paul, and Delroy Louison all report from the Grenada Heartland when we come back.
The Keith Mitchell-led administration has resurrected the state pension issue after previous governments backed away following its removal during the revolution. This has now become a matter of high priority with legacy-defining potential. This after the government refused to appeal the Hermelin Armstrong case and to restore her pension in accordance with a High Court judgment. Now, the Mitchell government is inviting solution-driven dialogue as it presses ahead to restore pension to public officers. CARTAC has been contracted to provide possible solutions. A pension consultant from Washington is also on the case. The IMF has pledged technical support, and government is urging stakeholders and union leaders in particular to come to the table. The Mitchell government is appealing for solution-driven dialogue designed to restore state pension to public officers.
Welcome back. A program of the Ministry of Youth is giving at-risk youth another chance at a better life. It's called Fostering Level-Headed Youth, or FLY. Rakisha St. Louis tells us more.
There is a saying that the main hope of a nation lies in the proper education of its youth. The Keith Mitchell-led administration for years has been investing heavily in youth development, through skills training, job placement, small business development, among others. The Ministry of Youth has left its mark in thousands of households and communities with its youth-focused programs, such as the New Imani program, Fly, Hype, Project Reach, and many more.
So we just sit down, we just speak about it, we just talk about the things we're learning, what is beneficial for us and how it's helping us, the way forward, what's tomorrow's, well, the future, what is the next step, how to plan it, how to engage it. And to me, when we lack of that, we drop out of school, some of us drop out, some of us have different issues, but coming back to the program, it has make us know that life ain't finished. We just start living, and throughout the program, once we continue and keep our head high, we're going to make it.
I miss it a lot in school, so I really want to get back what I missed out. You know, so I'm really glad for the classes. When I heard that, I said, yes, I will come. The ladies who come and wrote it down, they asked me if I would come. I told them, yes, I would have come. The first time I came, I did went somewhere different, but they called me and told me to come here, so I did come here. So I love the class.
Yes, I felt happy because I was home doing nothing. And I was like, I'm home doing nothing, so I will go and give it a shot. And it was okay. I've learned a lot during this process.
Testimonies from participants of the Ministry of Youth's Fly program, which seeks to engage the unemployed and marginalized young men and women throughout Grenada. FLY is the acronym for Fostering Level-Headed Youth, a UNDP-sponsored project which includes the engagement in life skills training, literacy, and numeracy, with the community service aspect of the project scheduled to commence in the coming weeks.
A program like this helps to teach life skills, helps to teach certain practical skills, but most importantly, helps to empower our youth, to give them that self-respect, to allow them to be the change that they would like to see in their community, to allow them to recognize that people care about them, that regardless of their beginnings, they have a very productive and potential future ahead of them.
So many times, as I said before, people have been trained and they just go back home and sit down. But this is one that has the objective of really placing people in a job situation rather than just training them. So it taught them to fish, but also a bit of hand-holding, the business aspect of it too, how to manage a business. I think that was a critical aspect. So kudos to the Ministry of Youth, kudos to all of those, the organizers, the main coordinator, Mr. Roy Bihari. But very importantly, a lot of kudos to those who stuck it out and have reached that far and shown their appreciation for what was being taught to them.
The project has already been launched and completed in Mount Rose St. Patrick and Carriacou. It is ongoing in Coast Guard St. Mark and Montou St. George. Our SOA team recently journeyed to both training sites, now into its 7th week, and already it is having a positive impact on the participants.
This program is a very good program. Certain basic of my life I've been done with, I've really abstained it, and certain things I used to do, you know, this program learned me a lot. And the life skill is more important because the life skill based on your life, you know, how you know to talk to people, how to greet people, you know. So I based on this and I learned from this how to greet people and to talk. Yeah, it's a nice thing. And the class is very interesting. I advise everyone who have the youths and the block or everywhere to come to this program.
Since I came in this group, it's been doing a lot for me. I will thank the government for bringing such a group for that, because my skills, my ability will come up more, even increasing. And in life skill I taught me a lot to control my anger and how to come out with people, how to move about, because I want to own my own business one day. That is where the small business coming. And you've been teaching me a lot, you've been teaching me all different areas, how to get there.
FLY runs for 6 months, 4 days a week. This time around, the focus has been placed on plumbing.
This is an area, plumbing is an area that is needed with the construction boom that is going on now, and it's all over. Public sector, private sector, government is doing schools, repairing schools, they have to maintain schools in terms of plumbing and other repairs. Hotels are going up. A lot of things are happening where they could get jobs, open their companies and get jobs. And every household at one time or another needs a plumber. So I think it's an excellent area. The fact that they are going to pursue general construction again is a good idea, because that again is a necessity.
In plumbing, one day, well, later in life when I have my own house, my pipe boss, I know, well, I could do my own thing. I could do, I didn't have to pay nobody again. But in the government and the ministry have done something really good, especially in the area of Montu. Knowing the kind of place Montu is, he have done a lot, pulling a lot of us from the streets, because a lot of us was on the block. I didn't have nothing constructive to do. So there's been a good program.
There are plans by the ministry to expand the program.
It is our hope that we will have more partners on board so that we can expand the program in 2018. Definitely that's one of our aim, and we can move to another community. We have gotten great feedbacks from the facilitators of the program as it relates to the developmental stages of the participants thus far. We have also received exceptional response from the various participants of the program, who have also shared some very interesting information as it relates to what does it mean for fostering level-headed youth program, what it means to them as a person, what it means to them as an individual.
Officials are happy that the change in lifestyle and personalities are already evident in many of the participants.
To see the difference in their faces from the first day of initiating the program to today, of them speaking up in the class now, of the confidence they have, of their drive, newfound drive that they always had. But a program like this allows them to reach inwards and find it again and bring it out there, to go out and make a difference.
The changes that they have came about within the individual life and within the individual development thus far, with only 6 weeks into the program, we have seen a number of positive reaction and feedbacks from the participants. And
with this newfound training, the participants themselves are anticipating a brighter future.
I would love to tell them, well, continue to get an education, go out there and get a good education, because at the end, if you might not, well, we know the government is helping us with the program, but one day we have to do it on our own. Because for somebody like me, have to come back in a program like this to get to know, well, the things I'm capable of doing, I could have done much better if I had stayed in school, if I had my head on. So I would love to educate the youths of today, especially the ones on the block, to get out there, find something, get yourself in a program too, so you can develop yourself, because we are somebody. We could be somebody greater than today, yesterday, and still in the future.
I would like to be an entrepreneur myself. I don't like working for people, so I rather open my own business, and it helped me a lot in the sense of sorting out my business plan and getting the strategy of marketing the product and as well as the business.
So a year from now, I see myself, doing some falls, and they bring it to light, so I could do so much more, and doing the business plan and getting on board. It helped me very much.
Reporting for State of Affairs, I am Rikisha St. Louis. These are the images from across Grenada. This is State of Affairs. More stories from the heartland after this.
Madam, what it is you doing there? You could hurt yourself and hurt the baby too,
Thank you, sir, for your concern, but I am in no distress.
If you don't mind me asking, Madam, what it is you carrying there?
This is the LPG cylinder from Petro-Caribbean.
Petro-Caribbean? LPG?
So you don't know Petro-Caribbean selling cooking gas now? The bottle light and easy to handle. That is why even me could carry it with my big belly. And sir, the best part is the price better than the rest.
Wow.
Petro-Caribbean, energy for union, available at distributors and retailers across Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique.
Youth Minister Senator Pamela Moses continues on her visits to Imani Hope trainees to see firsthand what trainees have been doing on the job. This week, Senator Moses visited the teachers at the Grenada Boys Secondary School and was pleased at their progress. June Paul reports.
The many life-changing testimonies
echoed by young persons who has and continue to be empowered through the new Imani program, are taking over the airwaves, and this week our weekly visits to trainees by Youth Minister Senator Pamela Moses takes us to one of the nation's top secondary schools. The trainees you are about to meet are employed as assistant personnel in a number of areas within the institution and were recently awarded certificates in Caribbean Vocational Qualification, CVQ, and the National Vocational Qualification, NVQ, under the program. Agatha Lewis, Assistant Secretary at the school, was delighted in sharing her story with State of Affairs. Ms. Lewis says she enjoys working at the school and spoke of her daily duties performed. Agatha shared on her achievement of success as a proud holder of a Caribbean Vocational Qualification CVQ in General Office Administration.
Okay, I did office administration, general office administration, where I obtained the level 2 in the CVQ. My next step is that I want to get a higher level, because where I'm at now, I think it's just for most likely an assistant. But the 3 would give me like a supervisory position.
She offered a word of advice to other young persons.
It's a great opportunity to obtain the level 2 CVQ because you get more exposure to things that you did not know before.
Liberian Ms. Janelle Lewis, a proud recipient of a National Vocational Qualification NVQ certificate, is a multitasker at the GBSS and says she is pleased to be placed at the institution.
It's been a bit challenging in terms of the classes and the up and down and stuff like that, but then having come to the end to get your CVQ or your NVQ, it's been worth it, definitely worth it.
Having been given the opportunity to train at the GBSS, Janelle is now thinking of further developing herself.
Okay, so for me, GBSS is basically the step I am at now, using my office skills here to really improve myself, and mostly I might try for graphics because I'm really into computers and anything digital, so I might go for graphics after this.
With the growing demand for knowledge in information technology at schools, the GBSS can proudly boast of a well-established IT room. Calvin Antwine, information technology teacher at the school, highly commended his assistant, Shawneel Charles, an Imani trainee attached to the IT department. He believes the new Imani program has had a tremendous impact on the quality of education and service offered by the school. At present, Charles is pursuing a CVQ in information technology.
I must say it's an excellent addition to the support here in GBSS because, of course, you know, it's public school and computer repair costs can be so expensive. Sometimes we spend hundreds of dollars on one system. So now that we have our on-board support, yeah, he's always here. If any computer goes down and so on, he quickly repairs it and so on. So we always have our full complement of systems functional in a time of technology. In this case, I mean, the impact is known countrywide, but in my case of GBSS, I mean, it's good support that in the event that a computer goes down, we don't have to wait on the necessary computer store. We have an on-site person, so it can be up as soon as possible.
The training component of the new Imani program is subdivided into 4 categories, namely apprenticeship or on-the-job training, direct skills training, enterprise or small business, and community development initiative. Upon completion of the training, the successful trainees are awarded a CVQ or NVQ. Ms. Giselle Dominic is one of the many young persons who have completed a CVQ in graphics designs and now holds a recognized certificate in that area. Giselle, an assistant art and graphics teacher with background teaching experience, says having completed this course landed her at the GBSS.
It was a new experience, especially for the graphics design. I never thought that I would have enjoyed graphics design or had any idea that I would have been working in that field.
Mr. Josh St. Louis, art and graphics teacher and supervisor for Ms. Dominic, applauded her dedication to the job.
All right.
How's her attitude towards work?
Ms. Dominic is very vigilant. She's always on time. She comes, she makes sure the boys are settled. She's very good at preparing the tables and the forefronts for art. She also helped in developing some of the concept, which I have taught. She gave me pointers to make the work more interesting and so that the students could be more responsive.
State of Affairs will in the coming weeks share with you more success stories and highlights from the Ministry of Youth and Sports on programs executed which is geared towards youth empowerment and advancement. Reporting for State of Affairs, I am June Paul.
This is the Grenadian reality. This is our current state of affairs. As the road to another general election draws nigh, the government of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell has begun meeting with constituents across the country, introducing candidates up to run on the party ticket. But the platform has also been used to highlight some of the work of government over the past 4.5 years, as well as the plans going forward. Delroy Louison reports on some of these pronouncements from the platform.
When you look at what has happened in our nation, it is clear to see that the NNP has delivered. It is clear to see that the NNP continues to deliver, brothers and sisters.
As government nears its 5-year mark of its term in office, State of Affairs has been following the progress of an administration at work under the leadership of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. At a recent endorsement rally for parliamentary representative for St. George North East, Tobias Clement, the platform was used for more than just igniting voters to turn out when the trumpet is sound. Ministers of government also used the opportunity to testify of the progress made over the last 4.5 years.
These last 5 years, in my view, have been the best 5 years in the recent history of this country. These last 5 years, brothers and sisters, I believe in my lifetime, has been the best 5 years I ever seen in this country. We have come too far to go back.
Among many of the achievements of government is its track record for infrastructural development. Improving road networks is one of them. The constituency of St. George North East has seen its share of road works over the last 4.5 years.
The road in Black Forest, we did Dandy Road, we did the road behind the community center, we did the drains, and that is what we did. And I said to them, you know something, all my allocation, sorry brothers and sisters, I have to make sure that it is spent before the budget year ends. And if I spend it all, I will go to dock and beg for some more.
These works, Clement says, has created more opportunities for the people of the constituency.
Brothers and sisters, today you can travel from Bossajou to New Hampshire unimpeded. And not only that, the Granville Road has now become a tourist route. So they can go to Granite Land, they can come to Annandale, they can go to the gardens and then move to Concord. This is the route now. Not only that, but the buses that come to New Hampshire can drop our brothers and sisters off right at their home. And this is what we brought. But you know, we did not only stop there. We moved to complete the Woodlands Avenue Road. Then we brought out the Stones Road right out to the main road. We engaged Marab and we did the Granton Road. And brothers and sisters, although this piece of road is not in my constituency, we cannot talk about New Hampshire without talking about the Dega Road.
Clement also announced that government was able to provide running water for the first time to a community in his constituency.
2 years ago, I engaged Nawasa, and just behind the hill, in the little village over Mankuma, Mayan, it was the new National Party again who brought water to the citizens of Mayan. And today they can boast about that. They don't have to carry water from the standpipe down here back to their homes, but it is at their home now.
On the national front, Grenada was recognized for its growth and development over the last few years by the International Monetary Fund. This is testament of the successful efforts of government to put the country back on a sustainable economic front.
The IMF Managing Director, the top officials of international institutions, I join Prime Minister Holness on the podium on discussion of the way forward for the Caribbean. And Grenada was being touted as having one of the most prosperous moving economy in terms of growth development in the Caribbean. We were given credit for what we have done in the last 4.5 years, knowing where we came from before that.
Dr. Mitchell admits this is largely due to the support from social partners.
If we did not get the support of the leadership of the trade union movement, if we did not get the support of the business community's leadership, the leadership of the churches, and the leadership of the NGO community, non-governmental organization, sisters and brothers, we could not be where we are today.
There is no doubt the Grenadian government has placed the country back on a sustainable path of development and have encouraged growth in many sectors of society, providing jobs and restoring hope to many, especially the nation's youth. State of Affairs will continue to monitor the pronouncements on the platform. For State of Affairs, I'm Delroy Lauzon.
And that's our picture this week from the home front. That's the current state of affairs. As we speak, our reporters and producers are gathering more stories from across Grenada as we prepare to tell them. I am Abigail McIntyre.
Putting the lens on Grenada, its people and its possibilities. This is State of Affairs. Reporting this week, I am Delroy Lauzon. An investment in the South is adding value to the shopping experience. Find out how. Anglican High School records another success year, this time in the academic field. Hear how this new accomplishment is building the school's spirit. And work to begin on a playing field in the St. Andrew district. Kevil Frederick, Rikisha St. Louis, and Abigail McIntyre all report from the Grenada Heartland when we come back.
The Keith Mitchell-led administration has resurrected the state pension issue after previous governments backed away following its removal during the revolution. This has now become a matter of high priority with legacy-defining potential. This after the government refused to appeal the Hermelin-Armstrong case and to restore her pension in accordance with a High Court judgment. Now, the Mitchell government is inviting solution-driven dialogue as it presses ahead to restore pension to public officers. CARTAC has been contracted to provide possible solutions. A pension consultant from Washington is also on the case. The IMF has pledged technical support, and government is urging stakeholders and union leaders in particular to come to the table. The Mitchell government is appealing for solution-driven dialogue designed to restore state pension to public officers.
Welcome back. The newly built 26,000 square foot Spiceland Mall expansion project is already operational, with new businesses offering a world-class shopping experience for visitors. It's a private investment that is creating big impact for the economy in the South. Kevin Frederick has the details.
Looking from outside, you never think all the spaces here.
You see?
From outside, it's
lovely to see.
Okay.
This is going to be the new location for Corp Bank.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so, but this will be the office. We have a law firm here.
Law firm here?
Yes, Benku.
Yes.
Yes. So she took here. We have a doctor's office here.
You got everything here? Somebody gets sick, then you to go?
Yes.
Right. Right here, the lawyer. You need a lawyer, come here, right?
Yes.
This is going to be who?
I think Digicel.
Okay.
And that's Terror here.
Yes, Terror.
It took almost the whole one side, you know? And that's the doctor's office here.
That's the Terror have quite a few.
They took almost this entire side.
They must be doing very well.
Well, of course. Yes.
4 years ago, they wouldn't even take a spot.
Spiceland Mall International, Grenada's premier shopping center, is home to over 30 stores, where shoppers can get anything ranging from groceries to electronics, banking services, clothing, medical, legal, to delicious culinary delights, to name a few. Earlier this year, the Hadid Group decided to seize the opportunity and expand the mall's shopping space as investor interest grew. On August 24th, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, accompanied by the Executive Director, Mr. Hassan Hadid, toured the newly built two-story 26,000 square feet additional shopping space in an informal meet and greet with business operators and investors. During the visit, the Grenadian leader was captured interacting with business owners.
I say, you guys, I told him, if a man does something wrong, he has a lawyer here. If he gets sick, the doctor here.
Yes.
And if he wants to drink a lot of rum and then get a hangover and make a coffee, you have everything here.
All the services are here.
Everything here.
Yes. And did you sell the phone services there?
Everything?
Yes, good.
Well, take care of yourself.
Thank you very much.
Lisa Herrera.
Good morning.
Pleasure, man.
How
Pleasure.
are you?
So that's your corner.
This is my corner.
Cinnamon. Toasted coconut.
Welcome at the Ship Connection and things additional. Nice to have you.
When you started here?
We were down at the first building and then we moved over here about 4 weeks ago. Oh, yes.
They have expanded.
So we have expanded.
That means money flowing. How are you? What do you have there?
Ladies.
Well, you look good, I tell you. You're well decked out. I wasn't doing in Grenada. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm charging you, no? Yeah. So you guys all right?
No complaints, a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, pleasure.
Take the time to come in.
Hi. Yeah. Just my first site visit.
Okay, very good. Very good. Welcome in.
Yes.
How are you?
You chartered the whole place. How's everything?
He's our public relation officer.
What? All white, man? All white?
We brought 4 top brands from Miami.
Yeah.
Here. Cotton Natural, they are in Miami. They are online. also, and actually they give us 30% for the Caribbean, so we have it cheaper than online themselves. Yes, yes, just for the beginning, you know.
Yes,
we have support with that.
To advertise it.
Yes. So I'm actually been doing good. The people love it. You know,
people come around.
Yes.
How are you?
So all the sportsmen have to come here, right?
Yes.
Look at them there, ready.
How are you?
Not bad. You good?
Yes.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So you're in charge of you? Huh?
Yes. This is Daniel.
You're where the company for?
Yes.
As a new one.
It's a new branch, yeah. Branch in town.
But they have branch in town, yeah?
Yes. So this is a new store we opened. This is Mr. Daniel, who is...
So you're the big man, eh? Genuinely so? Yes. I use the right word? Yes. All right.
State of Affairs later chatted with Dr. Mitchell, who reacted positively to the new environment.
My first impression is really that this place reminds me of any major mall or stores in New York, Miami, or Washington, where I normally visited and attempted to shop. So what it shows is that I don't necessarily have to go there to do the shopping and to get the quality of stuff that we see here. That's the first impression I get.
The Prime Minister further added,
it became clear to me that the expansion that we saw here today certainly would not have occurred if those who were involved in investing didn't see serious opportunities for profit based on their activity. It is clear that they have sensed what is taking place in this country economically. They have also sensed that people are looking for quality material in different levels, and what I see there is a showpiece that caters for all levels of persons. Those who are interested at one level will get what they need, and I think that to me is also a major lesson from what I see. It's also an indication of the employment opportunities being created, because every single one of those businesses that you see here is not just replacing from somewhere else. Mostly so, they might have a few like that. The additional investment and so that means the additional job creation, which is sending the right message about development in the country, and of course what they hope for young people getting jobs.
However, the genius behind the multi-million-dollar investment Hassan Hadid has described the current economic climate in Grenada as flourishing and positive.
From a local investor point of view is that we have seen the climate, we have seen the economic situation in Grenada is being going up, and we came to the conclusion that it is the right time from an investor point of view to embark on the expansion of Spice and Mall. And until today, we are confident that we have made the right decision. And we believe Grenada is continuing to develop and to grow economically.
Asked why he chose to invest at this time, he replied,
any investor must feel confident, right? That there's stability in the country. They have to feel that the government is pro-business. It doesn't matter which government is in power. And then you look for the signal to say, is there any development? And definitely there is development. And you go anywhere in Grenada. I mean, I travel all over Grenada, and I do see all sort of development, whether it is in the construction industry or the hotel industry and so on. And that is an indication that there's a confidence not just in investors, but even in the average Grenadian individual, because when a Grenadian decides to expand on his house, it's an indication of confidence, and that's what it is.
The expansion at the mall has seen the incorporation of some new designs, styles and layouts that are leaving new and returning nationals in amazement.
Well, I think it's pretty impressive. Huh? Have an artistic background, an architectural background. I'm very impressed. The type of materials they use, the high-level porcelain tiles and so on, the glass balustrade and so on. Very impressive. I mean, if you're in here, you could never tell if you're in New York or you're in Grenada. Simple. I mean, if you go outside, definitely you'll know. But once you're in here, I mean, even the sizes, I mean, this new wing is just add a lot of volume and most of our class, man.
Meanwhile, business operators and investors are confident that the new home will be buzzing with economic activities soon, especially with the new outlook and variety being offered.
I'm looking for a bright Christmas. Okay, this wing is fairly new, so people will come and they will look first to make sure the prices are right, and then they will come back to shop. So I'm looking for great things for this side of the mall for this year.
Grenadian entrepreneur Lisa Herrera owns Saffron, the first and only coffee espresso shop at the mall.
As you can see, we have a lot of different types of coffee and flavors, and I think it's going to catch on and do well, you know. Yeah, and so far it's doing well. We open on Monday.
Okay, on Monday.
Yes.
Just Monday gone.
Just Monday gone.
All right,
so
all right.
three days now. This is the 4th day.
Okay.
But
Well,
so far so good.
I am Kevin Frederick for State of Affairs.
These are the images from across Grenada. This is State of Affairs. More stories from the heartland after this.
I am Yolan Bain Horsford, and right behind me here is my alma mater, St. Joseph Convent, the institution that I've attended for 5 years. Further back behind me is the Roman Catholic Church that I also attend. And on my left is the convent court that I played all the netball and the tennis throughout my 5 years at this institution. I am very proud of the partnerships I have formed with the people of St. Andrews Southwest these past 5 years. But I'm even more excited about the things we can still do together. We have begun solving the housing challenges and tackling youth unemployment. We have not only been building roads and houses, but more importantly, building communities and building lives. Many people have been given fresh opportunities, and even more shall be lifted up in the coming period. I am ready to take a fresh start and to continue battling for ordinary people who deserve another chance. So let's keep moving.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Imani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competent.